All right. Yo, Justin Howell.
What's up, guys? Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, my God, man. Thanks for coming out on Going Again podcast.
Incredible.
Very cool. I've watched a couple of them. Saw John Stead, who I'm very close with. My career started with John Stead. So
Okay.
I'm
great.
excited to talk about some stuff.
It was amazing to have him on.
Yeah, he's the best.
So have you left him behind then?
Left him button? No, never. You know what? I still owe him a steak dinner. I don't know if I brought it up for you guys, but I promised him a steak dinner like 3-4 years ago, and I haven't made good on that yet. So
Okay, well, I'm a little jealous now.
in the future. I will get you a steak dinner.
Oh, 4 of us, 5 of us. That'd be fun. So, Justin, it looks like you haven't been in Southern Ontario for a while.
No, sir. About 5 years been outside the country. I kind of come back for Christmas and stuff.
Yeah.
Where are you residing?
Okay, great question. So for a little while, we had a place here. We recently cashed out of Canada entirely, and we're looking for home in Portugal right now. So we want to be in Europe. Most of the work we do these days is in Europe, and everything we've done for the past 5 years has been contract, like production work. So I've been there for 5 to 11 months, depending on the project. So we don't need a base in a specific working city.
Who's we?
Yeah, my wife and I. My wife, Aurelia Agel, she's from France, from southern France.
Okay.
We met on a TV show called Halo that we worked on in Budapest together.
Right.
Yeah, nobody knows what that is. A TV show called Halo.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Portugal.
Yeah,
I'm
Portugal.
ready for you to say LA or Atlanta or something.
Yeah. I mean, I like the States for a lot of reasons. If we were going to go to the States, it would probably be Florida. I like LA. I think LA is beautiful, but I think there's a lot of problems with LA right now. Also, film isn't as big in LA right now as it has been in the past.
I heard it's almost dead.
That's what I mean. It's too expensive to film there, from what I understand. And
Well, the politics suck as well. So people are moving to Atlanta and Florida,
a lot of production.
Texas.
New York, Atlanta, you're absolutely right. So I have a corporation that's US based that's out of Florida. So I think if we were going to do the States, we'd do Florida. But some of the priorities we're looking for are somewhere warm, somewhere nice, somewhere where the government will generally leave us alone.
Yeah, Portugal's awesome.
Yeah, and somewhere where our money will go further. And that tends to be, Europe right now.
Oh, my
Portugal
God.
specifically.
So why Portugal?
Yeah, I mean, Portugal's beautiful.
For all this reason?
Yeah, for all these reasons. Portugal's super safe. It's got a really high rate of English speaking. It's not too far to fly back over to North America. It's like a 5-hour flight. If you know the geography of Europe, Portugal's west of Spain, so it's not too far from flying to the States.
Right.
Okay.
And cost of living is a lot lower. Food costs less. Food has higher standards. You can get a beautiful house for what you would buy here. That would be like a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom.
And the ocean is beautiful.
Yeah, you can be on the ocean. It's gorgeous.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
We're looking in the Algarves. We're looking in southern Portugal right now. That being said, Europe has a very different. We've almost bought 2 houses at this point, but the whole process of buying a home in Portugal is very different than it is in North America. In North America, like everything happens very quickly. Everyone's very professional, and it's on the up and up. You sign a contract, it goes through. 2 times. First time we tried to buy a home in Portugal, it was, for simplicity's sake, 1.3 million euros, and it was a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom, and we loved it. We got pre-approved by the bank. Bank went to do an assessment. On the assessment, the blueprints were only approved for 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. The pool was not approved. The garage was not approved. So the bank assessment came out at $850, and the purchase price, so the gap was just way too big. In addition to that, there was always a possibility that the government could make us undo it because it's all undisclosed work. So we moved on from that one, found another one. Beautiful house. We put the deal together. We're like, everything's on the blueprints. Correct, everything's on the blueprints. Good to go. Get pre-approved by the bank. Going through the process of buying it, our agent calls and says, hey, they sold it to someone else. I was like, what do you mean they sold it to someone else? We bought the home.
So this is fascinating. So someone took their home.
Yes.
Built a pool.
Yes.
An outshed.
Yes.
A new driveway. I don't know what. Without getting permits to do so.
Exactly correct, yeah.
So then what's on record as opposed to what you're purchasing?
Yeah, completely different. Which is apparently pretty common there, but it's not a risk we wanted to take.
Yeah, but doesn't that happen here as well?
I presume it could happen here. I imagine not as much, though.
Oh.
And I imagine the legality's a lot tighter.
I've never run into it, so I've never heard of that.
Right, yeah.
Man, that's kind of hilarious.
If it was like the garage was just like a structure, right? Like a covered structure. If that wasn't on the blueprints, it's not a big deal. But they had a whole second level with bedrooms and bathrooms that was not on the blueprints. And if we have to take that out, it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to reduce the value of your home. It's just not a gamble we want to take at that point.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
How is it a gamble that the seller wants to take?
It's a good question. The selling agent, although very biased, I'm sure, said that it's very common there and that it likely would end up being a cash buyer that ends up buying the home as opposed to somebody getting a mortgage, which is possible. But you still run the risk of having to undo it if the government finds out about it.
So obviously the house seller was the person who built that second level.
From my understanding, yes, exactly.
Well, Portuguese are awesome builders. I mean,
They're
that's what they do. They're born with construction in their heart, right?
Yeah, and then the other thing is, if you want to do construction there, it's very inexpensive in comparison to Canada. So the allure of buying a property with a bunch of land and building a bunch of stuff unpermitted on the land is quite tempting.
But on that never note, sell it.
Not with it on the blueprints. On that note, when we do get a place in southern Portugal, our intention is to build a gym. Now, we'll want to go through permits, but if the permits are a huge roadblock, we're still going to build the gym.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this before.
So then the second house you went for, somebody just sold it from underneath.
We suspect that the selling agent double-ended it, so he brought in and then obviously he makes more commission if he double ends it. So we suspect that he double ended a deal and sold it out from under us.
Okay.
So that's where we are now. Eventually we have to go back there and look at some more places, but
see, that's another thing in Canada that's harder to do.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't really get away with that kind of thing.
So No, because once you make a deal, the deal is presented and signed as a contract. If they accept that contract, everyone's locked in or legal or lawyers are involved.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, but it's kind of all just
fascinating.
Wow, man.
So where are you living right now, currently?
We are vagabonds right now.
Awesome.
We have no home. So we go...
So basically you're homeless.
Literally homeless, yeah. So our stuff is at my parents here. We have some stuff at her parents there, but we've been project to project for 3 years now, literally. So we leave here, we go to Casablanca for a project for her, and then it looks like we're going to London after that. If everything goes through, that'll be probably all of 2026 in London.
And what does your lady do?
She stunts as well.
Okay.
Yeah, she doubles Charlize Theron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's a badass chick.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some vids.
Yeah.
I mean,
very talented. She's
I was on your page and then I clicked on hers.
Yeah.
She and he's never going back to yours.
I don't blame him. She kills it on social media too. But she's martial arts based. She's I think probably one of the best fight girls in the world, hands down.
Wow, awesome.
She's a killer. Yeah.
Man.
And say her name again, please.
Aurelia Agel. Yeah.
Aurelia.
So cool.
Yeah.
What? There's a movie where a guy. Love Actually.
Okay.
What's his name falls in love with a girl named Aurelia and goes to Portugal.
Oh, really? Go figure.
Aurelia.
Really?
Aurelia.
This is getting weird, man. Casablanca. What's shooting there? Can you say?
A movie called Casablanca.
Yeah, a movie called Casablanca. No, I honestly don't know the title of it, but I know it's some military stuff. So
okay.
Yeah, with some friends.
Very cool, man.
Cool.
Casablanca. Wow.
Have you been?
No.
You know what we did. I did a movie, a double John Cena movie called Matchbox, which comes out, I think, at the end of this year. And we did a little bit in Casablanca, which I've heard Morocco's beautiful. I've heard there's beautiful areas in Morocco. And Casablanca had little pockets of where the wealth is concentrated. That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
But Casablanca, the city, was not as nice to walk around and be in.
Okay.
So I think if you're going to go to Morocco, you got to find the right areas of Morocco to go to.
I watched an episode of Parts Unknown, Anthony Bourdain's show.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes to, I think it's called Tangier or something like that.
Okay.
Tangier? I don't know, but ever since I saw that episode, I have dreamed of going there. Tangier, Morocco.
Yeah.
Andrew's a bit of a foodie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a bit of a foodie, but it's also, which is why I'm watching Anthony Bourdain. But but that city in Morocco, it's known for a place that writers went to, and then stayed, and they wrote about it. And there's famous poets and writers all over the world that just their friend would go there and they'd be like, you gotta come, and then they'd go there, and then everyone just sort of ended up there, and they all escaped.
And this is in Morocco.
Yeah.
Okay, text it to me.
Tangier.
And we'll go check it out while we're there. Yeah. Tangier.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I might be getting that wrong, but I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of like a Greek look to it, or the white.
Okay.
White sort of buildings, block style. I don't know, but cafes and this and that. Man, it just looks. It's got like a bit of a romantic thing that I'm into. So
I love that.
yeah. If you do go, send the pics.
That's if you are a foodie. The one really nice thing about Casablanca is all the little markets and stuff have like wonderful local food, and the pastries there are incredible. And there was like a whole section for olives specifically, and they were the best olives I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So still worth checking out.
Anywhere but Canada, really.
Dude, anywhere but Canada.
Honestly.
You don't look like you eat a lot of pastries, Justin.
You know what? Christmas has been bad for me, but I try to. I think a big part of the reason I work is because of the way I look, so I try to maintain that for the most part.
Well, in fact, of all the young cats out there doing the stunt work, you certainly do come off as probably the laziest.
That's what
most unmotivated.
That's what I keep hearing as well.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So, Justin, where'd you grow up, and how did it start? Bodybuilding, gymnastics.
Does he have to mention John Stead again?
I hope not. We had enough of them right here.
Enough of John Stead. No, I started. So I grew up in just outside Toronto in Mississauga.
Okay.
And I did Taekwondo since I was 5, so long-term Taekwondo. And then I went into pro cheerleading, actually, when I was...
You don't have to mention that.
Around, around 13, which is actually where I attained a lot of the acrobatics and stuff, which is also beneficial in stunts.
Right.
And then I really want to get into this with you, actually, Randy, as well, is I tried to get into the union for a long time. It took me about a year and a half, and I was hustling. I was filming footage, putting it on a disc demo reel, printing out my resume and headshot.
It's not as long as a lot of guys.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Going to production studios, into coordinators' offices. Hi, I'm Justin Howell. This is my stuff.
Way to go.
Love a shot. And I did that with Chris. Are you guys familiar with Chris DeMeo?
Yes, of course.
So Chris DeMeo and I kind of came up together, and we were doing that, I would say we were seeing every coordinator 2 to 3 times a year. So we were going out like maybe once a month, doing a drop to every single production studio. And took about a year and a half. Darren McGuire gave me my first credit on that vampire show he was doing. What was that? Shadowhunters, yeah, where I had to just double a guy, crash into the glass, pretty simple stuff. And then John Stead saw my demo reel. He talked about this with you guys because he hired me off my demo reel.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And he actually called me after seeing my demo reel, John Stead, and he said, I'd like to have breakfast together. I said, yes, sir, absolutely. I'd love to have breakfast. He wanted to feel me out and make sure I'm an up and up human being.
Right.
Went to breakfast, had coffee, had, bacon and eggs. I took in as much as I could. And he said, I think I'd like to give you a shot as the lead double on my show, Bitten. And I was like, that'd be amazing. Wow. I would love that. And so my career really started with John on Bitten, which I doubled. I think we did 2 or 3 seasons of that. Doubled the whole way through. And yeah, he's just kind of been my mentor early on for a lot of growth in this industry.
Well,
so that was the start. And then Jamie Jones hired me a bunch on the strain. And then the big jump off was Leighton Morrison hired me to double. This is actually an interesting story. To double one of the, what was his name? Rick Flag on Suicide Squad.
Right.
Okay. And at the time, I'd never used guns. Wasn't familiar with guns. And in hindsight, I knew the character used guns and I should have trained him more in prep. So this was a learning opportunity. I went in, I doubled him for about 2 weeks, and then I got let go. They were like, you don't have enough experience. You don't move well enough. We're going to find somebody else.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Devastated. Fucking bawling, crying.
I'm sure.
As you can imagine, it's early on in my career, and I'm like, I'm not measuring up to the quality that I need to be. I need to go figure this shit out. So I go start training hardcore. About 2 weeks later, they call me and say, hey, we're just going to teach you. We're going to give you a shot. So they bring me back.
Whoa,
and I think this goes back to what we were talking about earlier a little bit about not being a ton of options in Toronto. I think if there was more options for 6'3" guys, I never would have got that call back, and my career might look totally differently.
Yeah, they realized they made a mistake.
I don't know if they realized they made a mistake so much as maybe they just didn't have better options.
I understand, but
yeah. So
that does make sense.
Totally.
And were you as big at that time?
No, I was probably 200 at that time. A little over 200,
pretty
205,
lean.
which is pretty lean, which is about what the actor was as well. Now I'm closer to 225, 230. But yeah, I think being a 6'3" guy that goes to the gym has been such a blessing in this industry and such an advantage that I want to take advantage of the fact that I have that opportunity, but I also want to earn it and try to train as much to show that it's not just because I'm a big guy. I also want to be the guy that moves well.
Well, I was just going to say your taekwondo and your cheerleading, your nimbleness as being a big man,
Yeah.
bodes well for you.
Yes.
But you know, also as much as I totally agree with that notion, that's what you want to do. That's more like a self thing.
Yeah.
If guys are using you and they like you, you got to be doing something right. It's just at the end of the day, you might be picking on yourself for, you know, maybe a moment like that.
Right.
I understand you want to recover. But, you know, Randy used to say all the time that to people asking, how do I get into the industry or whatever, you know, he said, you got to train. You got, what skills do you have? What can you do, you know, better than the 100 of my friends that are already doing it?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it would come down to the one thing you do have that nobody else has is that. You got that face, that body, that stuff. That is really what is moving you forward,
For sure.
generally speaking. And that's what's working for you now. And I can't imagine that anyone's, I mean, you're doing some amazing work. You got to be stoked about what you're doing.
You know what? I'm very excited. I feel very lucky and also very excited. I think part of that goes to a lot of people get into this industry because they know that there's financial gain to be made here. I loved stunts and wanted to do stunts before I knew there was any money attached to it. And still to this day, like I get genuinely excited to double a lot of the characters I double and do a lot of the work I do. When I make a dope fight scene that I think looks good on camera, man, I'm pumped. Like it's not about, obviously the money's a great a motivator as well, but I'm pumped that stuff looks fucking dope. That we make cool things that look good. Like I get excited about it inside.
Well, I look at a 6'3" dude who's very well built up top on your Instagram videos, and I'm watching you flip and doing some really wild shit that not a lot of guys your size are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be something said about all that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the niche, right? That's the pocket. That's
not just your build, not your size, not your face.
Right.
You're clearly moving a lot better than a lot of guys.
Yeah.
But going back to what you just said, and I have to agree, all I could do is smile. You're a filmmaker in your heart, and that's where that comes from. I wanted to be a stuntman before I even really knew what a stuntman was, kind of thing. And today people get in because their friends are in, and they can make $2,000 a day, and that's where their training stops.
Yeah.
The moment they make that money, now I'm a stuntman.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm very pleased to hear you say what
I certainly know what you mean. I think this is a particularly interesting topic in Canada, in Toronto specifically as well, because I think there's a lot of work and not necessarily a lot of performers to fill that work. So a lot of people will train up till the point that they're working, and then they'll start working and say, I don't need to train anymore. And I think it's an unfortunate mentality that exists quite often in Canada specifically.
Right. And then, but you'll also find little pockets training in the wrong direction.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Like what?
Like everybody's doing wire work.
Good point. Yeah.
So if all your training is wire work, and I need you to drive my car,
Yeah.
I could care less about your wires. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, we talked a little bit earlier about specialization. And I mentioned that not all movies have cars in it. So the guys that specialize in cars, they're not working. Not every movie has a horse in it. So the horse guys aren't working.
Right.
So it's better to have a well-rounded experience. But you mentioned fighting and falling, which is the staple of a stuntman. I mean, if you can't hit the deck and throw a punch effectively and carry a gun, and like you mentioned, you shouldn't even be in this game.
And not everyone's doing lead double work.
Yeah,
I think that's the original thought train. That's where you think you're going.
For sure. Yeah.
But then you end up, John Stead calls you and is like, hey, I just need you to fall down for a few days. I need you to play a cop. You go, Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And interestingly enough, lead doubling is a different job than ND or filling a spot in a fight.
Right.
Completely. For instance, lead doubling, this is going to get into a whole tangent about movement, but has to be hyper effective. Like when I see a lead double, depending on the character, let me reiterate, this is going to be based on a lot of what I do is superhero stuff, and a lot of what I do is like super hyper effective tactical movement stuff. I doubled Chris Hemsworth on Extraction 2.
Yeah,
and then John Cena on this movie we just did is also like an operator. So when I'm looking at movement through that lens, everything has to be hyper efficient. Like no moves are wasted. You're not filling spots with egg. You're depending on the performers around you to make sure they're in the right spot at the right time, so that everything flows for the lead double perfectly. Ideally, the lead double should almost be doing a kata, like a form, and everybody should be filling in the in-between spots, because the eyes will be on that performer, on that lead double performer. That's the character you're watching. You want to see them be perfectly fluid with everything they're doing. And an ND performer's job is to
Timing.
Yes,
Hit the
timing
mark.
to fulfill that.
That's interesting. That's
to
a good...
fill the egg on the in-between moments.
Yeah, that's
so they're
cool.
From a performing aspect, they're very different jobs.
Yeah, that's it.
I love what you said about the kata.
Yeah.
As a martial artist, I've always said that the memory work that you've done all your life comes in handy with these
For
moves.
sure.
And everybody should be able to do their own piece by themselves, and then we put it all together.
Yeah.
I love what you said about that's
that's a kind of an interesting concept or theory, or I think that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
These in the superhero world like that certainly makes a lot of sense, especially when you got all these guys coming in and wiring out and blah blah blah.
Or the lead double walking through with a gun.
Yeah,
or lead double
he's
walking
on
through with a gun. Yeah.
Center of the frame, walking through. Yeah. Wow, interesting.
So they're very different jobs, and people tend to see fighting as like one kind of skill set, but there's different aspects to that as well. And then obviously you can get into the like what is this superhero move like versus this operator versus this other character, because they're all going to move very differently as well. You got to figure out what that means too. And ND, if you're playing a goon 1 here and goon 1 here probably pretty much move the same.
Yeah.
No, sorry, my mind's swimming.
I'm thinking like that's very interesting stuff.
No, it's great. Absolutely.
Now, speaking of specialization, at some point you're going to want to be a coordinator.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're going to direct. And you will continue to train in your martial arts and at the gym and doing what you're doing. But at some point you're also going to go, you know what? I really want to train with a camera. I want to move into blocking and understanding all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that a guy like you is going to, at some point, you're going to coordinate films, sure. And you might go big with those Marvel movies or whatever's going on at the time. And
I'm available by then.
yeah. But directing and things like that. I mean, if you do pinpoint specialization, then you become the coordinator that has to hire
specialists
bike
for
guy,
other things.
car
sure.
guy,
Yeah.
this guy, that guy. He doesn't like at all. He doesn't.
Yeah,
Isn't
because he can do everything.
he just does that. He's done everything, and
Yeah.
that OG remark comes back. The old guy mark. It's a really gangsta.
Really interesting, because I've taken kind of a weird path through stunts where everything I've been doing has been lead doubling for the most part. So, Randy, I'm curious how you see transitioning from being a performer to a coordinator. And the reason I bring it up is I do quite a lot of bigger films, I suppose I would say, and lead doubling, and a lot of that ties into building choreography for the characters as well, talking about camera angles. I shoot a lot of stuff as well. But the step from being a lead double into a coordinator position, it's an interesting leap that I'm curious to get your opinion on how you make that transition, or how you think I could make that transition.
Well, you can do exactly what a lot of people in Toronto has done, and that is go into an office and speak very clearly and convince someone to hire you.
That's a good point.
And then you become a coordinator.
Yeah.
And then you go out into the world on that particular movie or TV series, and then you have to figure out who to hire that can do the job that you can't do.
Yeah, that's the big thing because like Andrew was saying, you have a skill set that kind of branches through all aspect of stunts, and I was saying a lot of the OG guys like yourself.
No, I love the term OG.
Yeah,
it's cool.
But like if I look at Jamie Jones and John Stead as examples as well, like you guys have all done fire burns, you've all done car hits, you've all done car slides, you've all done high falls,
100%.
You've done every imaginary aspect of stunts. Whereas for my entire career, for 12 years, I've hyper specialized in character movement. So fighting, falling, and you said wires. I've done a lot of wires as well.
Sure. No, I get it.
Yeah, but I'm not familiar with fire burns or high falls or car stunts.
Well, next time you're here, we'll light you on fire.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah. Oh, just come out and do that.
Well, no, so, yeah.
And then that leads into, I would kind of brought this up a little bit earlier, but do you think stunts has changed from really well-rounded jack of all trades, kind of crazy cowboys, to people that hyper specialize in certain aspects? And we kind of touched on this briefly. I know you said fighting and falling is like the benchmark, and less so with a lot of other things. But do you think being a jack of all trades is the most beneficial, or should you hyper specialize in fighting and falling? And I know you said also that, horse guys only work for horse stuff, so on and so forth. I wonder if, like, I know some car guys that'll do like car movies, and they just do all the car movies all over the world. And, we were talking about Fire for Hire as a company in Canada, and I imagine they just do fire burns all over Canada. So if somebody was trying to get into stunts right now, I guess what would you recommend for them?
Well, I think that if somebody's trying to get in, I think that they should study collect as many physical skills as they can. They're going to discover whether or not they're going to specialize.
Right.
Unless you come into it as a martial artist and a gymnast, then you specialize in your movement, like you said. And you're being hired to do that. And that's wonderful. It's awesome if you can make a career doing that. The average stunt performer may not maintain the skill you do in your martial arts and your gymnastics to specialize. So they're going to have other skills in order to get hired. Andrew mentioned it a little earlier. I have a thing that I say to young people that ask me to become stunt performers. And I said, I'm going to ask you a question. And if you can answer this question, I'll hire you tomorrow. And that is, what physical skill can you bring to my game that 100 of my very best friends, people who I love and adore, can't do and haven't already done in 1,000 films and on television? That's what you're up against. When you're dealing with a coordinator and you're new, that's what you're up against. Because I'm going to hire guys I trust. If I'm spending $250,000 today on a stunt, camera crew, craft service.
Yeah, better fucking work the first time.
Yeah. And this stunt is hinging on you as a performer?
Yeah.
Why? Why in the hell would I ever hire you? I'm going to hire the guy that has done it for me 27 times.
Yeah, of course, which as you should.
And that's how hard it is. And that goes back to what Andrew says. The only physical that you can bring to me is your face. And if your face is not in my book, I'm not doing my job.
Yeah.
Because I need my director to see your face.
Right.
So that said, having a multitude of skills,
it helps.
It absolutely helps, especially in, say, a Toronto situation, because as you mentioned on your movie, they let you go.
Yeah.
But then when they found out there was no one else that could fill your spot, they had to call you back and teach you whatever you needed to know. There's only at most 600 stunt performers in the city of Toronto. And I bet half of them don't work full time.
Yeah.
They have other jobs and do their thing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty common.
So in order to get work, they might have to do 5 or 7 or 8 or 10 things.
You're right. I hadn't considered it through the lens of...
Because if they want to make a living...
needing to be able to do everything because that's the only option.
Right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And the thing, too, is what's fun is I've never coordinated a Marvel movie. although I am available. I've never needed in my entire career as a stunt coordinator a world champion at anything.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've worked with world champions at things, but I've never needed them. I need you to be as good as I need you to be, and to be safe and get the job done. Some things I needed greater skill than others, but overall, you don't have to be the best in the world at anything to work in this industry. But you must level up. And I mentioned this earlier as well.
There's like a baseline.
There's a baseline. Yeah. Absolutely. That said, there's a baseline. And if you can reach that line, you're getting work.
Yeah.
But I defy you to take your resume after that baseline and go into a larger pond and see if you can get work. Because there are people like you who train daily because this is your job. And I defy them to get work. I defy anybody to take work away from you based on their base level.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the Toronto mentality as well, where they get to this certain point, and if they're working, they don't necessarily need to train more. But if you look at some of the talent coming out of Atlanta and LA and New York and London and even France, like there's some really, really talented stunt guys that would be very, very competitive on the world stage. And in Canada, we have a small layer of that at the top, but we don't have a lot of depth. Like if you need to hire 20 performers, you might get 3 really great performers and 17 people that are just filling a slot. And I would love to see Toronto level up and be like super competitive where you can hire 20 guys that are all absolute killers.
100%.
Yeah.
See, I think a lot of guys end up like you, or Mish or somebody, and they're flying away.
Yeah.
They're going to where the work is and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, Canada doesn't have a very strong budget for the entertainment industry in general. So it's hard for stunt guys or anybody in this country to level up when if they do level up, they level up and move to Portugal.
Yeah, but there's work here. So I don't necessarily know that there's an excuse not to level up because there's work here.
I do agree.
And there's guys abroad that are not working that are more talented, especially in Atlanta, especially in France right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying, but if a film's coming, if the production's coming from LA, the production is still based in LA. So your leads are LA, your heavy hitters are LA. Most of the bigger parts, acting wise, are in LA, and stunt guys come from LA with those actors.
Is that really common? I find when we film stuff in Canada, from my experience from my earlier days when we did some films here, the US teams were usually like 3, 4, 5 guys, and then everyone else was locals.
They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger.
They are, okay.
For sure.
Interesting. Do you think they're trying to push for more because they don't see the talent here? Or do you think they're just trying to be a nepotist for their own people?
Both.
I think it's a bit of both.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
I do think that, if you're coming from LA and this isn't your home and you don't have any friends and you're here for 6, 7 months, it's ideal for you to bring your guys.
Yeah.
It's
and that goes
more
back
comfortable.
To the trust thing as well, of course.
Yeah, it's comfortable and all that stuff. It may not necessarily jive, but it may jive as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What's interesting is that a big production will have an American stunt coordinator come up.
Sure.
The American stunt coordinator may even bring an American stunt coordinator assistant. But by our union rules, they have to have a Canadian match. So you have an American stunt coordinator come in, big name, little name, no name, I don't care. That person is now matched with someone, whether they know this person or they just meet this person and say, okay, you're now my Canadian match. Then the Canadian match, because he knows the talent in the area, hires the talent in the area. Then they have a fight rehearsal.
Sure.
And the Canadian match might bring in a fight director, a fight coordinator, or have another assistant, and they all work together on the fight. Tell me what the American coordinator's doing.
I mean, I imagine going to the meetings and...
I would hope.
Yeah.
I have been on a number of shows performing in the last few years, and the American coordinator is non-existent.
Oh, interesting.
But they're there. Their name is there.
Right.
They're on record.
Yeah.
But everything that I've done is I've either created the fight, or I've participated with my Canadian match to create whatever is we need to do.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I find it fascinating.
Yeah. Interesting.
and oftentimes I think the American guys, they're working at the top with some of the leads and all that, you know.
Of course, yeah.
But you know,
Correctly.
when you bring this big beautiful production called Reacher to Canada, but you bring this giant man who stars in it, you need a specialized character such as yourself. You know, you are limited to who you can hire.
For sure.
And that also limits skill and other things like that. So you have to look worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, they're bringing in guys from Australia or
Luke
whatever,
Davis.
right? Yeah, Luke. And he's a
Funny
great
enough,
dude. But
he's wicked awesome. I've doubled with him on 3 other projects. I doubled with him on Superman and Halo and one more that's escaping me right now. But yeah, he's wicked cool to work with as well.
yeah, he's cool.
Good dude. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
But
When it comes to
you have to do it.
that, really shows because those projects were all in different continents, and
But
it's
that's
the same guys doubling because even in the world, the talent pool for 6'3" guys it's small, man.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
but that's a double,
Yes.
and I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
You find who you need, where they are, and bring them in. So you're getting work, not only because of your size, but because of your skill as a filmmaker. You understand camera. You understand that stuff. That's what you need to. And as a coordinator, if you're stepping into the coordinating job, it has nothing to do with being 6'3" and 225
Certainly.
pounds.
Yeah.
It has to do with all the experience that you've learned over this time. So I find it fascinating that when a Canadian stunt coordinator or whomever hires an American fight coordinator
Yeah.
to teach in Toronto, why isn't that skill is maintained by many in this country?
The
Just by
fight coordinator or
yes,
performing as a fight
just
fighter.
the fighting skills,
Yes.
the directing skills, the coordinating skills, all that stuff
Yeah.
exists here.
We certainly don't lack great coordinators in Canada or in Toronto. We have
Exactly.
lots of wonderful coordinators. You're
Exactly.
absolutely right. Yeah.
But by virtue of being an American citizen does not make you better.
No.
And what I find fascinating is how many Americans are being brought in to do the job when in fact Canadians can do the job.
Yeah, interesting. Do you think a lot of that is because they're building their team in the U.S. before they even know where they're shooting? So before they even know
It's entirely possible.
Canada,
That's what I
the
think.
coordinator's already attached to the
It's
project.
entirely possible.
Yeah, and then that coordinator, by part of being attached to the project, already has his team in order as well.
Right.
So by the time they know where they're filming, those guys are already going.
Well, so
Yeah.
it also, it's interesting because if I'm a director or I'm a producer and I happen to have a friend
Yeah.
who I've worked with many times, I'm comfortable and I understand. So that I get. That goes back to what I said earlier.
Exactly.
I hire people I know and I've worked with before. Rather than give a chance for somebody that I don't know to fuck up $1 million shot.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's more likely that, and maybe a bit of optics too. I mean, if you hire somebody who's done some really hot shows as your stunt coordinator, it doesn't, you know, I've seen Americans that have come here and they really, I'm sitting here going, what? Oh man, I know a lot of guys here that know way more than this guy,
Yeah.
you know, or this gal or whoever. And you kind of go, oh, okay, but they did all the fight work on that crazy shit.
Yeah, but
they did the, you know.
What's interesting about that is where did that optics take it? I've never, other than Hal Needham, I've never gone to a movie in my life because of a stuntman was in it.
Well, but
or a stunt coordinator
Right.
did it.
You could be right, but I think nowadays, stunts is kind of finding a new light, and some of these things are being presented in interviews and in shows. I mean, fuck, I could be wrong, but
No, I hear what you're saying.
You know.
in the sense that it's more forefront and less deep background now.
yeah,
like
I
they
think
talk about it now.
I think it
exists.
looks good on the bill.
Yeah.
If you spend a lot of money on that coordinator and their whole team and all this stuff, you're just like, oh, that movie was.
And
it cost this much money.
There's a desire for people to see real action nowadays, as opposed to CG. CG is wonderful, but people want to know that it happened for real.
Well, no, that's a pendulum I hope swings back.
Yes.
Me too.
All the
too.
way.
Yes.
I will say, doing Matchbox and Extraction with Sam Hargrave, everything is real. Obviously, there's CG to augment stuff, but like all the stuff you see on camera, helicopters, on trains, all that really fucking happened.
Okay, so now that's
lovely.
See, lovely's a wonderful word.
Yeah.
That is budgetary.
Completely, of course. Yeah.
And Canadians write to the budget, and Americans budget to the writing.
Yeah, there's a mentality difference for
Interesting. Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's something I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, well, you have to look at the population basis. Who's going to see your picture, and are you going to get your cash back, right?
Well, see, that very point is exactly why I think like it's just in Canada, you can achieve certain skills, this and that, but it's also the bar is just set low, not by
talent.
Yeah, it's not necessarily by talent. It's just that the options or the it's just not the same. It's not there, and
which is interesting because
I think it's just less inspiring or less motivating. I don't know. It could be something like that.
I think
I don't know.
Well, we as Canadians, they need to tell Canadian stories. Let's just tell stories.
Yeah.
That are worldwide, like everybody. So what's interesting is here we have this beautiful Canadian sitting across the table from us right now.
You're gorgeous.
No, but you're going all over the world, and you're a Canadian.
That's right.
And your skill level is awesome.
Thank you.
No, it's not a compliment. It's a fact. So you have Canadians working in the film industry everywhere. I don't mean to bring up Jim Carrey or, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Like Canadians, there's a lot of Canadians that have leveled up and are a part of these massive, massive Hollywood movies. Sorry, my mind just escapes me.
No, but you're right. But that's the thing is unfortunately, you got to leave this country. Like if you have to at some point you hit the roof. Yeah. And you kind of go, what do I do? I just got to keep asking for work.
Yeah. We touched on it earlier. There used to be big projects that came to Toronto every summer. Early on, at least anecdotally, this is my experience. We had a huge blockbuster every summer, and at some point along the line, that changed. And most of what we do now is television and smaller budget stuff. And I'm wondering how we can bring big budget films back to Canada, because I would love to come back. I'd love to work in Canada, but
no.
Yeah, it just isn't feasible
too
right
cold.
Now. Yeah. Also, I don't want. There's 6 months of the year I don't.
Yeah, your skin will go back to porcelain. Buddy.
The one of the hardest things is studio space.
Yeah.
So we don't have studio space.
Right. We have Pinewood, which is the big studio. Down by the beaches. But my understanding is that's taken up by Star Trek and has been for 7 years. And Star Trek is obviously not a big action show.
Production manager is going to call the city and they're going to say, I'm bringing a $300 million movie to the city. Yeah. Have you studio space for 8 months?
Yeah.
And they're going to go, no.
Now, aren't we building something big?
Well,
or is it still happening? Or?
I thought I've been hearing that forever.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, we keep hearing it. So if we don't have the studio space, the movie's not coming.
Right.
Just go to Budapest or somewhere.
If we had the studio space, excuse me, sorry. Been going through this Canadian cough in the dry winter air here.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome home. I was real sick over Christmas.
Yeah, dude, me too. So if we had the studio space, would they come?
Well, that's a good question. And I don't think that studio space is the be-all answer.
Right.
I think it goes back to, again, I mentioned that a friend of mine was part of a contingent that went to LA to draw movies to Toronto, and one of the reasons why they said no is because of the stunt department in Toronto. possibly a few individuals in the past have really hurt Toronto's reputation. But also the sheer number or the lack of a number of stunt performers. So, like you said it, they fired you. Then 2 weeks later, they called you and said, oops.
Yeah.
Because there's no one else to fit the bill.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's a two-sided coin. If we had 10,000 stunt performers, 300 would be working.
Right.
And then every once in a while you call that other guy or that other gal.
Yeah. Which I think is more or less how it feels like it is in the States. It feels like there's a huge pool of guys and then like that are all quite talented and then a top layer that are working kind of all the time.
Yeah, well, the cream rises to the top.
Of course. Yeah.
But also, having said that, sorry, Andrew.
Nope. Go ahead.
I'm on lists. Most coordinators are on lists. And I get resumes from all over the world.
Sure.
Literally.
Yeah.
So when I get the Americans, I try to get back to people, and sometimes you get busy, you can't. And I type back an email saying, I apologize. I'm in Toronto. I can't use you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love you. You got a great look. You got
Yeah.
whatever. But what's fascinating is that I'll get the odd cover letter talking about their dreams and aspirations and that they've been in the film business now as a stunt performer for 15 years. And then I go down to their resume and they have 14 credits.
Right. And it's a day on this and a day on this. And,
Right. But it's 14 credits in 15 years.
Yeah.
So I can get you 14 credits by summer.
Yeah, for sure.
Based on how small our talent pool is. So our stunt guys in Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Halifax, Winnipeg, wherever we want to go, they tend to have a more well-rounded experience as a stunt performer because of being so few. I'm using the same person or I'm using the same people to do many, many things. Again, some of them have never risen to the level that you're at in that particular skill, but they're working.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard that performers in Toronto have the most set etiquette of almost anywhere in the world because they work all the time. So they understand the flow of things. They understand where things are going.
Right.
So they're great for that, for sure.
Yeah, wow. That's interesting. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but set etiquette, it can only take you so far.
Well, it's good though, man. Oh my
No.
There's nothing like hiring a guy that's got none.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's interesting because you can have all the skill in the world. If people don't want to work with you, you're not going to work. At some point, you still have to be desirable to work with and easy to get along
Cheers
with.
to that, man.
And
Well, it's a relationship industry.
like
I think that's the
unspoken-
number one thing.
I agree. It's like the unspoken skill set. You have to
man.
be good to work with.
Big time.
Well-
You're not coming back. That guy's amazing.
Yeah.
But I do not want him embarrassing me.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
All the
Why-
jokes and the shit he says, or whatever.
Yes.
Why would I want to work with someone I don't like for the next
Yeah.
6 or 7 months?
Exactly.
fucking A.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a relationship business. It absolutely 100% is. But there's a fine juggle there because you not only have to be an awesome person to work with, and not just for me, to work with my movie star, to work with my director.
Yeah.
I need you to be that person. And we navigate so many different personalities on any given day. My movie star, who can be incredible today, who gets a phone call later that night and their stocks went through the floor.
Sure.
And they come in the next morning and they're upset.
Different person. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Now navigate that.
For sure.
That's a whole managing personalities is a whole another aspect of the
100%.
film industry in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I bet you've seen some.
Certainly.
There you go.
Yeah. You know what? When it comes to our department, I'd say we're pretty lucky. Most people respect the things we do and respect what the department does.
I agree.
And they're
I
pretty
agree with
easy to
that.
work with.
Always.
It's pretty rare to have bad apples, to have bad examples of people that you're
I do agree with
interacting
It's been my experience. I think it's so much fun that the movie star, and that covers a ton of people.
For sure.
Anybody on the call sheet, right? How they like to hang out with the stunt guys and come and have lunch, because
Yeah.
the stunt guys and stunt gals, when I say stunt guys, I mean everybody, are on the most part very honest, genuine people. This is what we do, you know, and I'm not putting on airs for anybody.
No.
I don't really care. I'm just a cowboy, you know.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about the fact that we're not salespeople and we don't deal with interacting on forced interactions on a daily basis, that we can be genuine. Like when you're at work, especially when you're at work with other stunt guys, I'm just me. Like I'm just myself. I don't have to put on a front
100%.
or be overly professional in any sense. I'm just being honest and straightforward and direct with my communication. And I think there's a certain appreciation that people like about that.
And speaking of personality and appreciation, Blair, if you ever come up with a thought or a question, please air it. I know that you're sitting there biting your tongue.
Yeah.
But Blair's gained 20 pounds of muscle since I saw him last. Looks like Joe Rogan now.
But way more handsomer.
But way more handsome. And the glorious beard. Look at that.
Right.
Yeah, that beard.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Not yet an OG.
Well,
You're coming there, man.
You're a YOG, young old guy.
I do want to step back a second and also just point out that, especially since the quote unquote pandemic,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, economically, Canada hasn't necessarily been the easiest place. You know, I don't know how far I should go into this, but, you know, even when Mayor Kingstown came to town, they loved the prison, they loved the location, they loved all the stunts and the stunt guys and everything that was going on. But unfortunately, there was a situation where one of the leads couldn't go home to see their kids. And, you know, and they thought, well, if that ever happens again, that's not going to go over well.
Yeah.
And so they decided they had to take the show south.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Canada has some...
Such a specific circumstance. Canada was, by the way, the worst in the entire world during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it happened, I was in LA when it started, and I went to go do Extraction 2, which was we were going to film in Australia. So they fly me out to Australia. This is actually interesting because Australia
They weren't that great either.
They were crazy, man.
Yeah, okay.
So I go out to Australia, masks on the plane, get off the plane. By the way, nobody can travel to Australia. Thank you very much. Nobody can travel to Australia. This is just for film. They've made an exception. So we get off the plane. We have military escort us into a bus. And then we're in a bus with military flanking. They drive us to the hotel, get out of the bus, walk into the hotel lobby, which is empty, feels like a scene out of a zombie movie. There's a teller at the front desk, and she's got like a whole plastic barrier around her. We go up, she's got her mask on. We check in, get our room keys. A military guy escorts you up to your room, go into your room. There's a guy sitting on every floor to make sure nobody leaves the hotel. It's 2 weeks quarantine when you get there. So you go into the hotel room. All you can do is order food, and you have to stay in your hotel room for 2 weeks. So production's trying to figure out how they're going to film stuff. And by the way, a beautiful hotel room, like view of Sydney Harbor, ghost town. Not a single car on the road, not a single person walking around. It's like complete lockdown. They're trying to figure out how to film this movie here. It eventually gets to the point where they can't film, so we move to Prague. So we end up filming in Prague.
My God.
Beautiful.
I hear it's amazing there. Anyway.
Simple things like mask to work, but that's pretty much it. Like you're walking around the city, you're eating, life is good, life is reasonable. I go back to Canada for the holidays, and it's a 4-hour flight, and then I'm in the 5-hour flight, and then I'm in the airport for like another 3 hours. Get off the plane, like going through these lines, shuffle through this line. They made me download an app so that the government can track me. They want to know where I'm going to be exactly for how long. They're like, you have to quarantine there before you're allowed to leave. In the airport for 3 hours.
This is about the pandemic.
Airport, yeah.
Arrive can.
It was, yes, that was it. Yeah. It was terrible, man. Yeah, I don't want to be here for that.
But because of that, of course Canada's taken a hit. Why would I mean, if I were a producer thinking about where to shoot my show, I'd say, okay, I can save some money in Canada, but what if that happens again? Canada's a really uptight son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that economically it has damaged our industry for sure. I know that there are people that haven't exactly sprung back.
Yeah.
You know?
And in more ways than just that, like the Canadian dollar's super low right now. And actor rates have not kept up with that, especially when you take into account inflation that happened over COVID and the fact that our dollar hasn't kept up.
There's a million, quadrillion, billion more people. There's so much traffic. The hotels cost out the ass. Good luck staying downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
Half the shit that does come here now is shooting in Hamilton, Pickering, Brantford.
Sure.
Like, why?
They get an extra kick on the tax credits.
Yeah.
Shoot outside the core.
Yeah.
Okay.
But tax credits are a big thing because that's a big reason why film isn't in the States right now. I know Trump is trying to put a tariff on films made overseas. But
That's ridiculous.
I think that just means you end up making less films. I don't think it means you end up bringing films back.
Well,
to
and
the
you
States.
only make it with American landscape.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
So what happens is if you shoot your exterior, establishing stuff in L.A., New York, wherever the movie's taking place,
Sure.
and then you come to Canada and you shoot at a studio and you shoot all your interiors or some street scenes that you can match to the
Toronto,
city,
yeah.
and then you take your movie back, and then you do your post in Toronto, you do your post sound and you do your color timing or something in Toronto. How do you put a tariff on? Oh my God, it's an accounting nightmare.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, to me, obviously, I don't have a huge grasp on the financing of things, but it feels like you have to incentivize, not punish. Like, if you made more tax credits to film in the States, movies would prefer to film in the States.
Well, a lot of states are doing that.
Yes, but California, for instance, I know they had a big fund for it, but they need to be competitive. You got to remain competitive if you want people to film there. Because you can bet if you could film in LA for the same price as filming in Budapest, they'd film in LA.
Right.
So why are they not making these incentives in LA? Like LA,
your guess is
it's
as good as
becoming
mine.
some kind of zombie town.
I know. Yeah, everyone's moving out. Everyone's going to Texas and Florida. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also it's political.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Which is unfortunate because it's probably the most beautiful place in the States.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful places in the world. If you ever driven Highway 1 from California up to Vancouver, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. It's stunning.
Yeah.
But how many times can you shoot it?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to shoot the same thing you shot.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want a different location.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, but even the Warner Brothers lot have like one show on it, and it's just dead.
They've been making movies all over the world since the movie business began. So,
But California was always Mecca. That was always the center of the universe for film.
well, it still is.
You think so?
I mean,
To the same extent?
head offices. That's things are generated there. You want a writer meeting?
They're
You're
gonna
going to
go
LA.
away. They're gonna go away.
It's possible, absolutely.
They're gonna go to Austin or Atlanta or somewhere.
I wrote a screenplay, and in the screenplay, I have people in an airplane, and the guy says, "Come here, look." And they point out the window, and you'd see Los Angeles. He said, that's where the movies are generated. Look. Oh, hey, come here. And they go to the other side of the airplane and look out in the CN Tower.
Yeah.
This is where the movies are made.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, they're still generated, probably for the most part, not a lot, in L.A., and then made all over the world. And that's always been. It really has.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Are you seeing anything in regards to?
Sorry, and what's fun about the L.A., where they generate the movies, a lot of the executives, lawyers, producers, are Canadians. And then they hire Canadian stars.
Yeah.
And they go through a Canadian agent in L.A. I love that.
Yeah, that's still where all the actors, from my understanding at least, are still mostly based out of LA.
Yeah.
That seems to be where
a lot of them
take place and where casting is
Yeah.
done. And
Yeah.
But now the films that you're doing are based out of LA, right? I mean, even
I
if
suppose
you're
the headquarters.
shooting
I haven't filmed in LA in a long time.
are most
Thor:
of them
Love and Thunder reshoots were in LA. That was
reshoots?
5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are your directors and writers and are a lot of these guys from Europe or other parts of the world? Or
No, I would say most of the time they're from the States.
they're from? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting time. What? Yeah.
I just watched a half an hour video last evening about James Cameron,
I'd love to work with him. I've never worked with him.
Canadian.
Is he really? I didn't know that.
He's from St. Catharines, Ontario.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I mean, his formative years were in Canada. He was raised here.
Yeah.
He did move and become an art director and moved into directing second unit and then moved on, right? But he's still Canadian. And I don't, sorry, I'm going to get off this Canadian American thing.
But still, it's not shooting here. It's not like Avatar shoots here, Titanic shoots here.
Do you know where they shot that? Where they shot the most recent Avatar?
I don't know.
Didn't they shoot it on location?
On Pandora, on the planet far away. Interesting project to work on, though, because presumably the entire project is blue screen.
Right.
And you're imagining everything. I was watching, are you guys familiar with Corridor Crew? They're like they do CG art, but they also have a YouTube channel. And they were talking about, James Cameron's got his monitor, but they're shooting in a volume. So he has essentially infinity options. Like if they're shooting something, he can be right up there with the actor's eyes, or he can be in a helicopter, a kilometer in the sky looking at it. So it's like, do you get crippled by options at some point? Or when you have every single option, is it difficult to make decisions? I wonder, Randy, how you would approach that.
What's interesting about that is
that
I think they touched on this in this video I watched, where he will shoot the entire movie with all these options, with the volume behind everybody and whatever.
Yeah.
And then when he goes into post, when he edits, that's where he creates the film.
Oh, interesting.
Because he can make his decisions.
Yeah.
Am I shooting from a helicopter here, or am I close up on her eyes?
Because it's a whole
it's fascinating
different filmmaking process.
100%.
Yeah,
fascinating.
because at any point you can change any angle. It's not like you have to necessarily go back, we didn't get this angle over here. You have that, and then you have a billion other angles, literally.
Yeah. And you choose in the editing process.
Yeah.
So if you put it together and you don't like it, just change it.
Yeah, interesting way to make a movie. I wonder how that would affect stunts and fight scenes as well. Because, when we do a fight scene, we're selling for the camera angle. Well, all of a sudden, everything's the camera angle. Does that adjust the way you fight? I don't have the answer.
Well, it certainly should.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Well, a miss is like there's going to be angles that don't work.
Of course.
I've never experienced this, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's got to be a discussion. I mean, that's got to be a discussion with Mr. Cameron and all of his people on set.
Yeah, but you're going to block your fight, and however people move through that, regardless of how you shoot it, there's going to be a miss somewhere, and you can't use that particular angle.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if they're dropping skeletons of CG characters over them, they extend a hand or something to make stuff work anyway. I don't know. I'm curious. I'd love 100%. To work on one. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, where's he doing that? Do you know where he's? Oh, you said you asked where he's doing it. Yeah, I mean that must be a big.
Can be done anywhere.
That's what I mean. I'm sure wherever it's most cost effective to do it, because it can be done anywhere.
See, that's something worth building over here.
We could put one here in the studio.
Blue screen stages.
Nice big volume wall.
Have you touched any AI nonsense through all that you're doing?
I'm curious to get your guys' opinion on kind of the future and where stunts are going right now with AI. Have I touched AI? No, but I know it's
got to be on the rise.
Things
like that.
Yes, I know they're interested about it, and I've seen some like test fight AI stuff that looks like pretty good.
It's only going to get
shut
better.
up,
dude. Shut your mouth. Like if you were talking to a guy who wanted to do stunts today, would you still recommend getting into this industry? Do you still see a future, or do you think? I don't want to be a doomer, but are we 10 years out? Are we 5 years out? Are we 20 years out?
I think he's different than me for sure.
If ever,
yeah. In 20 years, I'm out.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what I've said before. Like, Joe is a stunt coordinator, and Joe talks to his buddy, who
hey Joe, I'm available.
Has another job. So he says, I can get you in the union, man. So he gets a permit. So he gets in, and he's making $2,000 a day, and we won't even mention kickbacks. But and then you have this team of people who aren't. I became a stuntman because I wanted to become a stuntman. I started.
I love that, by the way.
No, I started as an actor when I was a kid, and when I discovered Hollywood wasn't waiting for me, I decided to put my skills as a gymnast, martial artist, and acting in a cup, give it a shake, out falls a stunt guy.
What a great combination.
100%.
Yeah.
But I've always been a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. So when I was a kid, I used my father's film camera to make little movies. And then I was the first among my friends to have a video camera, and we would make little movies. So I'm a filmmaker in my heart. That's where it comes from first. Mm-hmm. I'm a writer. I'm a better writer than I've ever been a stuntman. So I'm getting back to your question.
Yeah.
If your desire is to make movies and your avenue is stunts, great. I wish you all the best, because as you grow, you are going to grow into other aspects of filmmaking. Andrew was a stuntman. He's an actor first, too. He was an actor since he's a child. And Andrew's got a resume that kicks ass from acting. But then he, as he grew older, not only is he a stuntman and an incredible driver and things of that nature, he's also a fabulous writer. Like, his projects are incredible as a writer. Blair started as a stuntman, but he's now producing and directing. And he's a photographer. So his experience that may have started by falling down or throwing a punch, as well as Andrew's, has grown into other areas because they're filmmakers. There's a lot of people in our industry who will only fall down, not, and I mean stunts.
Yeah.
And once that's over, it's over.
Yeah.
But if you're getting in as going back to your question, are we 10 years out, 20 years out, will AI take over? If your avenue into this industry is stunts, but you're a filmmaker in your heart, and you will grow, and then you can do other things. Maybe you can become the coordinator of the AI. Maybe you sit down at a keyboard and create.
Yeah.
So if that's you, go. I would give that. My advice would be to fly. Just go.
Yeah.
Take the avenue you have.
Yeah.
And then grow.
Now I have a slightly different take. We watched an interview years ago with Renee Zellweger, who said, when you go into the audition, you want to be a good actor. You want to do yourself that solid and be your best performer. But in the end, what you really have to do is sell them on the fact that you can sell their movie.
Right.
And that they're going to make a lot of money. I do think that whatever's happening in the next 5 to 10, 20 years, whatever it is, it comes down to the money. If they can save money, make things safer, easier, costs of less lawyers, less producers, less people, less things, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to capitalize on that. I find when I watch sequels, you watch the first, let's take Ninja Turtles as an example, or I don't know, almost any movie that has a sequel. The first one is like this serious adult movie. And then you realize, well, we can make more money if we put jokes in and cheese it up a little bit because kids will watch it.
Yeah. Expand your audience.
Yeah, and you expand the audience and you start making family movies. And I just think that expansion is so natural to anyone that wants to just make more money.
Right.
And the people that rule this industry, unfortunately, are the money makers, the biggest money makers. So
they're
whatever is happening,
decisions as well.
They are making all the damn
decisions. And if
decisions.
they have the opportunity to replace everyone with AI and it costs nothing for them to do it,
right,
they will do it.
So I think that your dream is absolutely everything, but the way in which you navigate it is what you do have to learn. I think that Renee Zellweger's point that was said 20 years ago makes a lot of sense and probably more today.
Yeah.
Economically, we can see it all over the world. They don't want to put money into risky movies by making original works.
Yeah.
It's very rare now. They want to just keep doing sequels or write about something that already exists and other histories and things like that.
Have you seen Matt Damon talk about it?
No.
He was on Hot Ones podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about it. He said a big part of how movies made money is they would have their theatrical release, which they made a bunch of the money, and then they would have their DVD release or their VHS release. Thank you. But that DVD, that VHS release, which was often a huge wave of income, has gone away completely. So now the only movies that they can make are ones that will make a ton of money in the theatrical release, which is your $300 million summer blockbusters. So there's this whole in-between movie genre like Good Will Hunting and these beautiful movies that you can't really make today. It's certainly not the same way. Or certainly not with like the guaranteed profit that would have come with a DVD and VHS release.
That's interesting. That's another pendulum I hope swings back.
I don't know how or where, especially when Netflix buys Warner Brothers. Now they want to do a 2-week theatrical release, then it goes straight to Netflix.
Right.
Where's your income come from?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just tell me a story.
Yeah. I just want beautiful stories. Some of my favorite movies ever are
100%.
not action movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up on.
Good Will Hunting. Give me Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Andrew and I watch Shawshank Redemption at least once a year.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. One of the greatest movies ever made.
We make spaghetti, pour some port, and watch Shawshank.
We do. Literally every year we make that a thing.
I love that.
And
I agree, and I think that storytelling will never stop. You'll just by being here, you're telling stories on my podcast. Like stories, people want to hear them. They want to watch them. They want to see them.
Yeah.
But
and I
the
think
average audience doesn't know how to get them. They don't care how they get the story.
Right. I think there is something to be said about a human soul in a story, though. I don't know about you, but when I see AI videos, no matter what the AI video is, I don't really want to see it because I know it's not real.
Right.
I think there's something to be said about knowing humans made something, and maybe this is just me trying to hold on to a dying industry, but I think people want to see things that are, this also goes back to them wanting to see real action as opposed to necessarily CGI action. They want real stories told by real people, and I think there'll still be attachments to actors that they know and can put a face on and a personality to, for the good and the bad. I think that's still important, and it's an intangible part of the film industry that
couldn't agree
that AI is completely separated from.
I agree.
And I think that they won't care what you or I or Randy or Blair thinks or anyone thinks until they have to. Because I think that, like, you're absolutely right. I do think that human capability, human skills, art, all this stuff will become more valuable because it will be more rare. And there will be the desire for it. But because of the time or the era, I do think that young people who want to pick up a camera or something like that, the camera is not the film camera anymore. So they don't know. They think, I just want to shoot something like the old guys used to do it. And then they pick up their phone and are like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, wait, but that's not the camera they were using. Like, wait a second,
And there's still a lot of directors that'll shoot on film and then transfer it over to digital.
Yeah, see, that's nice.
Yeah.
Unless
it's a Nolan's.
I can't help but think that there's just guys out there, producers that are going to be like, we don't need to do that.
What's interesting is
I think that's what it boils down to. If they can save money by generating something in AI, they'll do it, right?
Yeah, and I think
they are doing it. Look at volume walls.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like, we shoot a lot of car commercials, and now they're shooting them on volume walls. You put a car.
We almost don't shoot any anymore.
Put a car on a treadmill.
Yeah. Are they doing? They do the LCD screen. Is that the volume wall you're?
Yeah.
The LCD wall. It's a crazy technology.
Like you were saying, 90% of your career was in a sort of specialized world. And 90% of my career has been commercials. I've done so many car commercials and other things.
Interesting,
It's just absolutely insane. And suddenly they're pretty well dead in the water.
Really? They've changed that much, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
just volumes now.
Yeah, it started.
How many less
non-union
crew are you there because it's a volume?
Well, that's interesting
a good question.
too. That's a very good question.
But what has happened? What I did notice started happening was they would use just less stunt guys, less drivers, less
Yeah.
people. They would take the car. We used to do these rolling. I used to do it with these guys. I grew up with these guys doing it, and a bunch of other guys. And
The pack shot.
we would do the pack shots at the end, where like you'd see the one car the whole time, and then 5 cars all rolling
Yeah, I'm
at the
familiar.
end of the commercial Toyota.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And it's like their whole lineup.
Yeah, the whole lineup.
Yeah.
Well, now they just
Have 4 static cars and 1 pull-up.
yeah, they do one guy and then they just multiply it. In
And then
the computer,
just tile it. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need to do all the other stuff. So when a young guy says or a gal says, "Hey man, how do I get into this?" There is a
Buy a
part of
computer.
me that kind of is like, fuck. All right, I'll tell you, but
Yeah.
you're in for it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what to think.
Yeah.
I'm a little discouraged these days, and but I'm trying to be an optimist.
Well, I think, I love independent film. And what's fun about independent film is that if you pick up a camera and you have some friends and you have some wherewithal, you're going to shoot in camera. So you've got great drama, but you also might shoot an action thing with cars that's all in camera. Your fights are in camera. It's, it's cheaper. It's weird.
It's cheaper. That's it. It's cheaper.
This computer shit is mind bending.
Yeah, it's also like you mentioned maybe moving over into AI and helping generate fight scenes. And obviously we have like intrinsic knowledge of how fight scenes exist and what the flow of them are and how to tell that story. And I'm curious how those skills are transferable into an AI world. Like, am I just trying to get my knowledge into a prompt to build that AI fight scene?
No, you know what?
Interesting.
I did a commercial recently. I was coordinating on, and I was talking about AI in commercials with my producer,
Yeah.
and he was very much saying that it's happening right now. Like there's guys out there that are making unbelievable spots, and it costs us $5,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
the
it,
Coca-Cola
right?
commercial, then Coca-Cola Christmas commercial was an AI commercial. Yeah.
Really?
They had a lot of backlash on it, but it was an AI commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Fuck. I mean, I fucking hate it.
Which, like, if Coke is doing it, Coke's one of the biggest brands in the world.
Right.
How far are we out from everyone doing
Everyone doing it.
100%.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
my producer was saying to me this very thing. Well, you could get into like designing
Yeah.
stunt with AI, and I'm going, yeah, but doesn't the AI guy just say, "Dude beats the shit out of that guy,"
it? I mean,
and then that guy flies off the roof?
yeah, they're like pretty. From what I've seen, they're pretty long prompt boxes that are really specific. Where
I
it'll be
imagine.
like, it'll describe lighting, it'll describe camera angle, it'll describe wardrobes, things like this. But at the same time, like it's maybe not the thing you want to be doing. Like, I love fighting and I love building choreography and I love my job and the things I do.
Yeah,
but if
you
I'm
don't wanna
prompting an AI, that's not the same job anymore.
That's
right.
It's a
Just-
different
I
thing.
agree.
You're at home in your bedroom.
Yeah, and yes, maybe my skills are transferable, which would be wonderful. Maybe I can make a great income doing it, which would be wonderful. But it's like passion is still important in the thing you do day to day.
And
Like,
your integrity and all
yeah,
that
and your
stuff that-
integrity and all that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
What comes from the heart goes to the heart.
yeah.
And I don't think that AI is ever going to write a script that's going to make me cry.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right.
mm-hmm.
I am fascinated with AI. I do think that it is incredibly fascinating, and it has a place
Yeah,
in
for sure,
the world.
For sure.
Absolutely.
It's great for idea generation as well, especially if
Sure.
you mentioned you write a lot of scripts. Maybe you get to a point where you're stuck and you prompt something with AI and it sparks off these different angles. And then maybe you're like, oh, that's not a bad thread to pull on. And then you can follow that with your writing style.
Right.
So I think it's great for idea generation. And, it's got a lot of applications. But
You've got your own personal little writing room.
yeah.
So rather than sitting with 10 other individuals coming up with ideas and where you
Yes,
Well, that's-
into a script.
Which is scary to think because now those
great-
9 other people don't
They're
have
out of
jobs
work.
that do- Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're not doing it now.
I was watching a gentleman talk about programming. I forget what it was specifically, but let's call it an app. And he was trying to figure out how, while he's programming, he was prompting 5 different AIs, and then he would run the codes that they give him, pick the most efficient string of code, plug it into his app, and then move on to the next thing. prompt the 5 AIs, run all the code, see what's the most efficient, plug it in. And now, you have one guy programming, but not really, as opposed to a whole team of programmers. And this goes on like a whole tangent, but at some point, if AI starts replacing all the jobs, what are people going to do for a living? It's going to be everything's funneled to these companies that run and own the AI, and there's going to be nothing in the middle and the bottom.
Well, when they invented cars, there were a lot of people that lost that job picking up all that horse shit.
Yes, but it created automotive industry.
That's
it created
right.
Industry like building cars and
right.
maintaining roads and all sorts of things that sparked different jobs.
And that's what's going to happen.
AI erases jobs entirely.
Well,
or can.
No, that may be true. Mm-hmm. That may be true. But I do think that the tech world, I think that we're going to get into a tech life.
Yeah.
It's like all lifestyles. There'll be less of guys like you.
Yeah.
And it won't just be AI. It'll be like data centers and other ways of supporting that AI. I'm not sure. There probably is no reason for half the fucking population because of this. But, hopefully there's still somebody out there generating whiskey and cutting lawns and, I hope.
I think a lot of those trades jobs will hang around quite a bit longer. Certainly. Yeah. It's interesting how, probably you as well, Andrew, as a kid, where value of school was so important. And value was not really put in the trades, and now it's kind of the tradesmen, especially in Canada, make all the money, and the people with media degrees and so on and stuff have a much bigger struggle now.
I hated school, and I didn't value it at all.
Me too. Which is interesting because I have a great thirst for knowledge, but I didn't like the structure of the school system, and the school system in Canada especially, and it's changed, I think, even more in a negative way recently.
Yeah. I think so as well. Mm-hmm. Actually,
I see Randy smiling over there.
I'm not for it at all.
Mm-hmm. When I was in high school, all I could think about was skateboarding and my guitar, and I thought, wow, I'm never learning anything, and what does everybody think? Well, it turns out I'm actually a really great skateboarder and a great guitar player.
Yeah. But you're also an intelligent person, so it's not like
I also have a thirst
knowledge or a thirst for knowledge. It's just the way they implement it.
Correct.
For instance, we learned French in school. Theoretically, do you guys speak French?
Nope.
No.
Of course not, but you took it in school, right?
We sure did.
Right. The way we learn French in school is very structured. It's how to conjugate verbs, specific words for present tense, past tense, things like this. We didn't learn English that way. You learn English by speaking English. I speak French to a degree with my wife. She's French, obviously, and her family mostly just speaks French. I can speak French now, after being with her, more than I ever could in school.
Sure.
And yes, I make way more mistakes, but I learned it organically.
By speaking?
Yes, by speaking, literally. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I think that applies across a lot of different things in school. I don't necessarily agree with the way we teach things in general. That being said, obviously I'm not an educator, so
I think this is anecdotal. That way, right?
This is a massive subject because if you have 30 kids in a class, not all 30 of them are going to learn at the same speed, the same way.
Yeah.
Some people learn by doing. Some people learn by reading. Visual, I don't know.
Yeah.
And to try to teach the masses, they had to do it at some point, right? Somebody had to design something for the masses, but it's absolute bullshit. Today, this very moment, I don't have a multiplication thing. I can't do that in my head. Math just doesn't come to me.
Right.
But I'll make you cry with a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the exact quote is, but they're saying if your son's failing at math but excelling in soccer, get him a soccer coach, not a math tutor. Something about doubling down on your strengths.
100%.
Yeah.
See, that makes so much sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically how
all I wanted to do as a kid is make movies.
Yeah.
So I applied at college once, and I got in, but they moved the program from Conestoga to Humber that year, but Humber was already full. So the prof said to me, okay, then what are you going to do now? Oh, I think I'll go make movies. What, you an idiot? Like,
yeah. Now, you know what's funny? I didn't attend my classes as often as I should have. And
much to his father's chagrin.
so
I'm in a similar boat.
You know, so you come later in life, and I'm talking to my lady, and I'm saying, you know, we're talking about maybe the movie we're watching, and I'm saying, you know, this is why this, and this is why that, and this is why that, right? Because this is something I've read in books and studied and all this stuff later on in life. But then she says, yeah, I know. And this is why, and this is why, and this is why. And I'm sitting here going, why? How do you know so much about story? And then she's like, well, grade 10 English.
Oh, wow.
Like, where did you go? Or
so this it clicked for her.
And then I say, babe, did you know there's 9 planets? Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Did you not go to science? Like, I swear to God, there's so many times I'm reminded that, oh yeah, I just didn't go to class.
So I mean, yeah,
that's hilarious.
We have a negative outlook on the education system. Perhaps we were just little shitheads.
No, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that the education system is across the board. It's for the system. There's something. It's invented by the system and made for a system.
Well, it's a very old system. From what I understand, the education system, as it currently exists today, has essentially existed the same way for like 80 or 100 years at this point. And we haven't really adapted or changed. Like, there's some fundamentals, like you don't learn how to get a mortgage or how to do your taxes, but you learn discrete math, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And calculus.
Yeah.
Like, I've used a lot of that recently.
This calculus season, did you?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Mostly when I'm driving.
But how are we not teaching those fundamentals?
I don't understand it. What they do is they try to teach the masses so that they can just be controlled,
right,
and get jobs, and be good people and pay taxes.
Yeah.
You start teaching people to be individuals, and you're fucked.
Yeah. Now the accountants don't have jobs the same way, and yeah, that's fair.
I was talking to
that's
somebody.
A frustrating outlook, though.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and what Andrew says about skipping out of school. Name me one day in your student career that you can remember was so crucial you couldn't have missed it. Can you think of one?
No.
Right. So if it's a sunny, beautiful sunny afternoon, take your kid out of school, for God's sakes, and take him to the park, because who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's not going to affect them at all. And what will affect them is that you spent time with them at the park. Is so much. Sorry, I get.
I'm with you.
We used to take our kids out of school all the time for auditioning.
Oh, great. Yeah.
It's constant. It was constant.
Yeah,
my wife was their agent.
Yeah.
The kids were busy, and we moved from one city to this city, and the vice principal called me and said, you can't take your kids out of school anymore without asking permission. So I went and met this person, and I said, you have to understand that these are my children. I don't ask permission for anything.
Yeah.
And he said, nope, you can't take them out of school. School. And I said, excuse me. Okay, so how many new kids came to this school this year? And he gave me a number. I don't remember. And I said, how many of those new kids walked up to you, offered their hand, and said their name and asked for yours? And he said, 2. That's right. My son Andrew and my daughter Randy Lee. Because they were raised in a professional environment, a creative environment, and they knew enough to walk up to a man and have the confidence to shake his hand and say, hi, I'm Andrew Butcher.
Yeah.
What's your name, sir? Or whatever.
Yeah, in retrospect,
that goes a long way.
For real, that is probably the greatest lessons that I've had in my life. It certainly wasn't at school. Really. You know, that I love that point.
Anyway, so speaking of education.
Interestingly, on the antithesis of that, I remember in high school, I left. I was in like a media class, and me and my friend went to the main hallway, and I was acrobatic at the time, and I was doing flips down the stairs, and he was filming me do the flips down the stairs. And I went higher and higher until I did the whole stair set. And there was a big crowd at this point. Everybody cheered, and we left, and I remember getting called into the principal's office, getting in big trouble for flipping down the stairs, and they called my parents and stuff. And it's funny because the thing I got in trouble for is obviously now the thing I've made a career out of.
Absolutely,
man.
I remember Andrew. Some guy was going around grabbing girls' private parts.
I was grabbing their underwear strap.
Yeah, so Andrew decided to teach this boy a lesson and smack him in the mouth.
Yeah, good.
But as he smacked him in the mouth, a teacher came out of a room and saw it happen.
Sure.
So no tolerance policy. My son got expelled, like kicked out of school for a few days. Mm-hmm. So that said, that he was told that when you get home, make sure you tell your parents, and they've got to phone us, because if you don't, we will.
Right.
So Andrew told us.
Yeah.
So being a self-defense proponent and someone who would defend any woman against a sexual assaulter.
For sure.
I called the school and I spoke to that principal, and he goes, yes, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, thank you. I just called. I didn't call to tell you that my son's getting shit. I just called you to thank you, because I can go golfing with my son now for the next 3 days.
Yeah, man.
That's what it was, 3 day suspension?
I think it was a 3 day. You know, to be honest, while some of the teachers didn't like what happened, they saw what happened, whatever, but I think it was the vice principal at the time, he just kind of understood.
Yeah.
Just kind of got it.
I think they have to operate within the structure they're given, so they can understand what the right thing is and still be like, this is what I have to do. But
then
that goes back to that individual thing for me.
Yeah, as a human, I can still agree that you did the right thing. I think police are often in this position where they have to do something that they don't necessarily want to do. But
for sure, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But in a police officer's instance, it's up to him to investigate initially, and he can let you go.
Yeah.
But I guess in the school they have a no tolerance policy across the board, and which is a shame.
But then it's unjust, you know.
So speaking of education, how old were you when you started to do Taekwondo?
5 years old.
5 years old.
Yeah. There was a Taekwondo school. I lived in Mississauga. There was a Taekwondo school in the church beside my house that operated like twice a week, and I started there.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was lovely. And then I went from that school. I was there for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and then I went to OMAC with Master Harrison, and he was my mentor and kind of grew me into the martial artist that I am today. And that was kind of my experience with that.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah. But no, I loved Taekwondo. Taekwondo was like my outlet as a child,
right,
for all this, crazy energy and stuff. And I progressed through the belt system. I'm a 3rd degree black belt, and I joined the demo team pretty early on. Demo team was like a demonstration, board breaking forms, paired forms and stuff. And this actually transitions directly into stunts, interestingly enough. We performed all around the world. We went to, not all around the world, all around North America. We went to Ohio, Arnold Classic in Ohio, which is
Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilding.
Yes, It's a bodybuilding competition. There's also, attached to the Arnold Classic is a martial arts tournament. I don't know if you knew that. And we performed at the martial arts tournament, and we always did pretty well. And I was like, man, I love doing choreographed fight scenes. I love doing forms and breaking boards. And it was a discussion with my dad at the time, and I said, how can I do this forever? And it was actually my dad that recommended, what about...
And how old would you have been at that time?
Probably 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. And he said, what about film? What about a stuntman for film and television? And I was like, ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he was well aware of this avenue.
That world existed.
Mm-hmm. So yes, he was. He didn't know the intricacies of the world, but he knew that they fight on camera, and it's not completely dissimilar to what I've been doing with Demo Team.
Nice.
So yeah, very early on, I knew I wanted to get into stunts. I was like, this is the future I want. This is what I want to do, which interestingly enough also coincides with my lack of interest in school.
Hell yeah.
So the question was, I didn't have any family or any friends in stunts. The question was how to make that transition, which is, for most people, I think the most difficult part is getting started, especially when I was getting in about 12 years ago. Yeah. So I was a knight at Medieval Times for a couple of years. That was kind of my starting point. Then I worked on a movie called Pompeii, which was a fun experience.
Jean Finesse.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of where it started. And then obviously, you know, the rest. I started with Darren McGuire, got me my first
And then
credit.
you were on a great show called Stanley Dynamics.
Yeah, dude. Is that the first time we worked together?
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
so
and then
funny.
and then I think you helped me find a girl as well to
good.
to stunt for me. But
Yeah.
I love that.
That's right.
That's a long time ago.
Oh man, have we worked together since then?
Yeah, well, I saw you on Man from Toronto and a
Yeah.
few other things.
Yeah.
But usually I'm over here in a car or something, and you're over there.
Kind of different ends of the spectrum.
diving off buildings and stuff.
Yeah. No, that's so funny. Stanley Dynamic. That's right.
Yeah.
Stephanie Hawkins was there with us. If I remember correctly.
Yes, and you were doing some
Yeah.
sword stuff. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, it
That's
was fun, man.
Yeah, good time.
And I remember you talking about medieval times at the time.
Yes.
You know, and there's a number of guys that come up through medieval times.
Jeff Meach is Medieval Times as well. Dan.
That's right.
His last name is escaping me. Dan is from Medieval Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Dan who,
talented-
sorry?
DL.
DL McDonald.
Oh,
Dan
DL.
McDonald.
Yeah.
Yes, it's from Medieval Times as well. There's a lot of talent that comes out of that
There's
place.
a number of them, yeah.
To be honest, you make no money in Medieval Times, but it's the dopest job. You're just fighting with the boys in the sand and riding horses.
And you learn how to fall off a horse,
You
man.
learn how to fall off a horse. Yeah, I didn't know how to ride a horse when I went to Medieval Times, so I completely learned how to ride a horse. And we did like Spanish dressage there. So I left being able to ride a horse pretty competently.
Valuable, man.
And then
Valuable.
fighting in the sand, deep sand, you get in crazy good shape. It was when I first started lifting. I went to Medieval Times. I was like 189, left at like 205.
Did you ever bodybuild? Like,
No,
was
you know what? I have like an interest in bodybuilding, but interestingly enough, I just watched your podcast with Tai Fung as well, and I don't want to go through the diuretics and the downside of bodybuilding.
Yeah, I get
like
that.
bodybuilding for an aesthetic purpose,
sure?
and I want to maximize that, especially for the characters I double. A lot of Chris Hemsworth is big,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
fit, but I don't want to go to the extreme side of crazy diuretics and crazy drugs to get in insane shape.
Now, are you trying to match these guys?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to match Chris's sort of
As
body.
best, as best I can. He has a very unique build where his shoulders and arms are just huge. And for me to get exactly, and then super tapered waist. He goes down to like a 32 waist. I don't think I can match. Like I tend to get size through my like chest and back as well. So it's hard to, even just doing arms and shoulders, it's hard to match like
Widen
these.
it,
Yeah.
all that.
So you kind of just do it as close as you can. I'll like look at what height and weight they are, and then try to match that as closely as possible,
'Cause
while being as lean as possible.
Hemsworth is lean. And
He's lean,
He's
lean.
lean and
Yeah.
large.
Yes.
But Cena has got
See,
a thickness or something, right?
He's very lean too, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
He's a little shorter. He's like 6'1", but the wardrobes on that show were very forgiving as well.
I see.
So he was probably 6'1". I don't know what Cena walks around at, maybe 230, and I was 6'3", 230. So I was a little leaner. Not leaner, I was a little less muscle, I should say.
Sure.
But it worked. And then John Cena has Spencer as well, his main double. That's been his guy forever. And Spencer did all the big crazy stunts. I don't know if you saw, he did a jump off the bridge in Budapest to a helicopter, and that was all practical. Yeah.
I might have seen that.
200 feet up or whatever. Yeah. And that was
sweet.
pretty hardcore because it was real. They loaded him in the helicopter with the line, flew him up, landed on the bridge. He'd get out of the helicopter, and then a guy inside was pulling the line while he's.
Man, that's some work right there.
Yeah. It's hardcore shit. Yeah.
Damn.
But he was on a cable.
He was on a cable. Yeah. But the cable line into the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did he ever miss?
Yes.
All right.
It was, well, not miss, I shouldn't say. I actually rehearsed the stunt as well. A helicopter skid is big, and on the day it was maybe 0 degrees.
Oh, just grabbing that.
Yeah, just jumping and catching it. It's got skateboard grips on it, but even just jumping and hooking up, it's hard, man. It's hard.
And you were doing it as well.
I did the rehearsals for it as well. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the rehearsal's as cool as the fucking moment.
What kind of helicopter?
Great question. There's pictures of it online that I could show you, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Like
It
a
was
Huey?
Fred North.
Oh, yeah.
If you know Fred North.
I do.
He usually flies
Yep.
a specific kind of helicopter.
Andrew and I had a
That's
conversation the other day. We had David
it. You should
Tomasini
get
on the
Fred
show.
North on here. That'd be.
Well, we had David
Be a great guy to talk
Tomasini,
to.
who was the premier film helicopter pilot in Canada.
Yeah.
we had him on the show. And Andrew mentioned about who else in the States, and Fred North, and
Yeah. We were literally just talking about
I
this.
told you
Wow.
he's on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen all his videos.
Yeah, because
insane.
he does like all those huge movies. He did Old Guard. He did both of Sam's movies, both Matchbox and Extraction 2. One, Extraction 2, I don't know if you've seen it, where a helicopter pulls up to the train and they unload 5 guys on the moving train, and then the helicopter pulls away. All practical, all real.
I saw the first one.
Isn't
I
that
haven't seen the
wonderful?
second one yet.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah. And it looks fucking awesome on camera, too.
Yeah, today you watch a movie and then you see this helicopter go across the skyline. And
Yeah. But you can feel that it's real. You can feel it's actually happening.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
that's what makes it exciting as a viewer.
For sure, of
That
course.
it's in camera, and
Yeah.
when the car is smashed and the car takes a jump, it's real.
Yeah, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody loves that,
Yeah.
but they're just not getting it.
Yes.
Well, I think you feel it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
When you see the AI stuff and you're like, wow, that's an amazing thing.
You
but
can feel, right now at
It's
least,
a
you can still
subconscious,
feel
like-
the AI for sure. And yeah, like I said, I scroll right by it. Often I'll report it and say not interested because I just hope
Oh,
it shows me
nice.
less AI stuff.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. It's like voting, you know? You're doing your part. man.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, that's another aspect I'd love to touch on because
Voting?
yeah.
No, I was going to say social media.
Yeah.
What do you think? What place do you think social media plays in stunts today,
Okay, I have a couple.
if any?
What's interesting about social media? Okay. John Stead and I and Andrew, we had a conversation about reels, and he gets a lot, and I get a lot.
I get a few sometimes.
I don't watch them.
Right.
I don't have time. I don't want to spend time. I think that if I needed a specific thing, I would watch it, and I have from specific people about specific things.
Like you would ask for like, I need this thing. Do you have any footage of you doing this thing?
Right.
Okay.
And if I had that reel, I would watch that.
Right.
Now, of course, I don't collect them because it would be a massive library of CDs and DVDs and whatever, or on my computer now. I think that some people put stuff on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and whatever other social media they use. And you can actually go to that and see some video.
Yes.
And I think that in some cases it might be good for them. But that said, and I, as a fighter, I would love to know your opinion. There are a number of people, and I can't speak for LA and Atlanta, Vancouver. I speak for Toronto,
Yeah.
about Toronto. There are a number of people who go out on the weekend, I don't care what day, with a camera, some friends. They put together a fight scene, and they're all doing sort of ha ha boom boom,
Yeah.
kicking. Sometimes they pick up a weapon. There's one guy in Toronto that likes to do these little fight scenes and actually puts in special effects where people get blown up with some wizard ball. And I think that they're doing themselves and the industry in general a disservice because they suck. They, as individuals, may be incredible performers, but what they've put together and put out into the world is not real. It's not edited properly.
Yeah, it often demonstrates that while they're skilled in martial artists, let's say, they don't understand
They fundamentally
camera
lack
angles,
somewhere else.
misses.
Yeah.
There's all these other things.
Yeah, so I suppose, but I need, if I needed some, you can just jump around by yourself and throw a bunch of kicks and punches and a backflip, and I'll know what you can do. But their mistakes are glaring, and it's more embarrassing than anything else. So no wonder they bring in the Americans in. People are
now demonstrating.
Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. Yeah, for sure.
But now further to what social media can be used for is just like it's marketing yourself and this and that. Unfortunately, we are similar to just having a cell phone in general. You kind of like have to have social media if you want more out of it than this guy's got. Like if your competition out there is doing something that you're not doing, you feel compelled to have to do it, even if social media is getting in the way of your whole freaking life. You know, you just want to go do some flips, kicks, work in movies. That's really what you want to do. It's just like the fight design AI thing you said. I don't really want to do that.
Right.
I get what you're saying, but I don't really want to do it. I'm like that. I hate social media. I hate my phone. I just want to like get off it.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I'm doing so many other things, and I hate being interrupted by the notion to have to go there.
Right.
And then my day only has 24 hours. I'm sleeping for a lot of it, and I have to use an hour to market my podcast, market other things, market myself now, whatever. I can't stand it. But is it inevitably the avenue for marketing who you are and what you're doing? I mean, I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think it's interesting.
You're pretty heavy on social media to some degree.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think going back to demo reels, I think it kind of runs adjacent to demo reels in a lot of way, where demo reels, obviously you're sending directly to coordinators, but I think existing on social media, especially if the coordinators that can hire you are also on social media, it's just a reminder that you exist and that you're training and that you're doing things without directly telling them.
But there's also an immediacy to it.
Yeah.
So if you're in Portugal and somebody in Australia, they can just click.
Yeah.
And that's instant. It's there.
Yeah.
You're marketing.
Yes.
I absolutely.
And it makes you easy to find as well. If you search me up on Instagram, my demo reel's there.
Right.
If you want to find other stuff, like if you're looking for a specific skill set, it's probably somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So I think it helps with that as well. And it's interesting because I think it's very new. Like it's only really existed in the last 5 years to that capacity.
Totally.
Yeah. So I'm wondering how much it affects people hiring and things like this.
How do you feel about sending out resumes? Like,
even if it's subconscious. If I was in the position that I was looking for work specifically, I would send resumes, but if I was in town, I would still try to go see them in person. I would still try to drop by on set and say hi, especially if you know them.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you feel that a resume is an important tool still?
Interesting question. I don't think a resume is necessarily indicative of your skill set. A resume just shows who you've worked with and what you've worked on.
Right.
And I think that's where a demo reel is at least nice to get a base idea of what their skill set is as well.
Right.
And then Instagram, if they're using it properly, can also be an additional tool for that same thing.
Interesting that you say about who you worked for, because as a coordinator who does hiring,
You want to vet them.
Yes, I want to vet the person. Yeah. I don't necessarily have to, but there are people that you do.
Right.
And
someone you've never worked for, you see their resume.
Yeah.
Right, but if you see that he's worked with Jamie and John and down the list, and I think, well, if my friend trusted that person.
Yeah. Do you call them?
I'll trust that person.
Yeah.
Yes, the odd time I'll call another coordinator and vet them.
So how's George?
Yeah. And people call me all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think this has kind of always been the way it is, that there's an honesty when people ask about how a performer is. When somebody asks me how a performer is that I've worked with before, I'll tell them the good and I'll tell them the bad.
100%.
I'll say this guy's great at this. He's great at this.
Absolutely.
This is where he lacks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have to.
For sure. Because that's your name attached to it now.
Exactly.
That's your seal of approval or seal of whatever you say.
Yeah. My reputation follows that person.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how did you become a cheerleader?
My sister was cheerleading, and I went to her practice. And then I became a cheerleader.
Now, was that because there was a lot of really cute chicks around?
Yes,
or?
that's why I started. I went there, and the ratio was like, there at the time there was maybe 5 guys on the team and maybe 15 girls, and I was, a 16-year-old single kid that was fascinated with the opposite sex and wanted to be around them more. So I started cheerleading.
Now, what did you find so fascinating about the opposite sex?
The way they smell, the way they generally look, the way that they generally are not men.
Yeah, and obviously the talent when you're in something like that.
There's
some skills and talent.
So that's why I started, and then
I didn't even want to go there.
The sport's actually, it's quite a cool, fascinating sport. What I like about it is it's acrobatic. Obviously, you're doing tumbling. I don't know if you guys are familiar with cheerleading at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're doing tumbling lines. You're doing flips the same way you would in gymnastics, but the skills are a lot more capped. There's a ceiling on the skills, and then you also have to do the stunts. They're called stunts in cheerleading, which is the throwing the girls and doing the stunts with the girls. And those two skill sets are directly contradictory to one another, because to tumble, you want to be small and light, and to stunt, you want to be big and muscular. So you have to find this balance where you can, if you want to excel in it, where you can maximize the tumbling to the cap and then be as big as you can to stunt and do the most impressive stunts possible.
Mariah.
Which was a cool thing for me to learn. Mariah was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mariah?
Owen?
Yeah.
Oh, Mariah. Yeah.
I know Mariah. She same cheerleading gym.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, is that
Mariah
right?
Owen. Yeah.
She came.
Oh, that's cool. Right on.
Yeah.
How's she doing?
We did a podcast with her.
We haven't seen her for a year, but
she's in LA, and
that's awesome.
She may come back and do
I got to shoot her a message.
podcast. Yeah. Again.
Yeah, great. I got to shoot her.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to her again. And Kanchana.
Yeah.
Kanchana Kerr.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Apparently
I
she's
know her
quite
not too
talented
well.
when it comes to. I mean,
in cheerleading,
yeah,
okay.
as a cheerleader and a tumbler.
I think she's after my time, but that makes sense.
Quite skilled. So go on cheerleading. Yeah. How far did you go with it?
There's actually a lot of. I was on Team Canada, and like world competitive. There's actually a lot of stunt people that are. Do you know Nathaniel Schuker? Mm-hmm. Also a cheerleader. His wife, Kaylee Hyman, also a cheerleader. Josh Matos, thank you. Also a cheerleader. He's a fantastic cheerleader.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a undercover group of cheerleaders.
Wow.
So you thought stunt work, film work, you didn't want to be one of those Dallas cowboy girls?
No, I'm good on that. The short shorts are just don't quite fit.
You look good.
Yeah, hey, maybe if AI comes to stunts, maybe I'll go to the cowboys.
Yeah, there you go. Shift gears. Okay, right on.
But no, it was a big part of my life for a while. I cheerleaded hardcore for like 7 years, and I loved it. Yeah, it was cool.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we know you're from the Toronto area and you worked on some Toronto work, and then what happened? What got you flying around the world?
Great question. So I did XXX with Vin Diesel here.
Sure.
And Greg Rementer was he actually doubled Vin on that, but he was also assisting with the coordinating. So I worked alongside him on that movie. He went on to do Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. And at the time I was in Toronto. I'm a dual citizen, by the way. I messaged him.
Were you a dual citizen
I've always been a dual
time?
citizen. My mom's from Connecticut.
Okay,
so
I was going to ask about that.
I said, hey, man, like Avengers is my dream. I would do anything to be on that show. And he was like, you want to come do 3 months as a local? And I was like, you're damn right I do.
Wow.
And got in the truck and drove down to, where were we filming at that time? Atlanta. At the Pinewood Studios there, and I did 3 months on Infinity War and Endgame. And that was kind of the start of being international. And then I came back and I doubled Pablo Schreiber as an actor on American Gods. And I got close with him, and he liked the way I moved. And he went on to do Halo Season 1. And they initially called me for Halo Season 1, and I was on something else, and we couldn't make the rate work. And then they shot all the action, and I guess the action, for whatever reason, didn't work. And they were like, okay, we need you to come. And we agreed on the rate, and I flew out and did Halo Season 1, and then everything kind of sparked from there. I think once you start developing relationships, like anything,
you're opening that door.
It snowballs very quickly. So I went from Halo Season 1 to Thor Love and Thunder reshoots, and then met Sam and Dan Hargrave and Thayer Harris on Extraction 2, and then went to, what did I do after Extraction 2? Would have been Thor Love and Thunder reshoots, Extraction 2. missing some stuff here, but at some point, Superman, and then to another Sam Hargrave movie, the Matchbox one, and then to Avengers, which we just finished in London. So it's kind of like once you start to know people, and especially if they like to work with you, a lot of the people from Extraction were also the people for Avengers. A lot of the people from it's a pretty small circle, so it just became cyclical at that point.
That goes back to what I said about hiring people that you
that you trust and want to work with. Yeah, exactly.
But the lesson for anyone young and listening, the lesson here is that you just asked somebody and told them what you want.
Yes.
And probably that you want to learn, and that is a huge lesson, because just asking is the one thing that people struggle with. They don't want to be turned away. They don't want the deny. What do you call that? They don't want to be rejected.
And taking risks, because obviously I was in Canada at the time. I went down to Atlanta to work there, and I put myself up, and I have my own car, and never been in the States before. So it's at some point you gotta step outside your comfort zone, and try to take risks.
Absolutely,
it's important too.
Now, having dual citizenship,
super helpful.
That helps
huge advantage, of course. Yeah. And thankfully, our unions, ACTRA and SAG, are actually partner unions. So if you're in ACTRA, you can just buy into SAG.
Right. Yeah. It's called SAG eligible.
Yeah.
So what for young performers listening, you have to apply at SAG. They put you through the computer. They contact ACTRA. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And when they've vetted you, then you're SAG eligible, and all you have to do is pay your cash. So we're all SAG eligible.
Yes, exactly.
I've just never joined because I'm not an American citizen, and I can't.
Yeah.
And I've never endeavored to get American papers. I get asked for work all the time.
Yeah.
And I just move it on. I don't go down there.
I'd like to, but it's for other reasons. It's not just stunt. It's more like I do so well here in the city. I feel good here. I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's more like I want to go down in Nashville.
Yeah.
Work and also play some music and other things.
Dude, that'd be great.
Yeah, just be fun.
Yeah, Andrew's an awesome songwriter as well.
Yeah, you can just go.
Yeah. American papers, I suppose, would just help, but I don't know. Whatever.
Now, have you ever used your skateboarding in stunts?
I have never. I've used what skateboarding gave me.
Okay.
I was very familiar with the air. I was really hardcore, hitting the ground. I've never hit the ground in stunts like I have as a skateboarder.
Yeah.
And I still skate today.
Skateboarders are hardcore, man.
Yeah,
and concrete.
I have
going for it.
Done some ridiculous shit on my board. For a long time when I was young and in my 20s, I really thought that there was a place to go with it. I thought maybe I'd go pro or I'd do something.
Yeah.
I was pretty hardcore, and it's still to this day, it's my sport. I'm obsessed with it. I watch it. I watch all the competitions. I watch everything. And I skate all through the summer and, sort of try in the winter. I hit a lot harder when I hit the ground, but
I tell you, after leaving Canada, dude, nothing hits like frozen concrete.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. I haven't fallen down in my recent career as hard as I have in my early days in Canada.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think that I have skateboarded. I skateboarded on a commercial when I was young, which was fun. And I don't know, have I done it again? I don't think so. It's kind of funny, but just for falling down and understanding the air and my balance and all this, it's absolutely helped my career tenfold. Yeah, big time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
You ever been a skateboarder?
No, I'm terrible on a board. Tried snowboarding a little bit.
Yeah, both.
It's like my skills end at my fingertips. I'm good with weapons, but skis, bikes, cool, just not so much my thing. I did I tracked a sport bike for a little while, which I really enjoyed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Interesting thing, because I had an R1 and a Gixxer 600, both that I tracked for a while, and I loved it, but I don't know if I would want to do bike days on set.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, it depends on the gag, right?
It certainly depends on the gag. Yeah.
But that's your prerogative to accept or turn down.
Right. Do you think people, like how close should you be to your discomfort zone to accept a day?
That's a really good question. And I think that one of the considerations is whether you're going to kill someone else or yourself.
Right. Yeah. Because obviously we know some tragic accidents that have happened on motorcycles on set.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm wondering how they could have avoided that.
We could have avoided it by, well, are we speaking of the one?
Multiple, right? There's the one, do we get into this? The one in Vancouver? That was on,
okay, so
Deadpool.
Yeah.
that
But then also the one with on Resident Evil, I believe, in the States.
Oh,
Yeah.
with the camera.
Yes, with the camera.
Yeah, but see now,
Yeah. Different situations. for sure.
situations. One was a very skilled motorcyclist who probably
Yes.
could have just done the job, but somebody else was at fault,
Yeah.
right? And then,
My understanding in Vancouver situation.
and in Vancouver, that should have been avoided by just someone literally
with experience.
saying no.
Now, just because you can ride a motorcycle
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're the person.
Certainly not. Yeah.
There's nerve.
But that is what happened.
Yeah,
That's
well,
exactly correct.
Yeah, there's wardrobe now. There's a wet down on the street. The
Right.
bike doesn't operate the
100%.
one you're used to.
But also, it's my understanding that the performer was experienced on a particular size of motorcycle and no larger. And the motorcycle used in the picture was 4 to 5 times larger displacement,
Okay.
which multiplies your mistakes,
Of course. Yeah.
100 times. So the motorcycle you're used to riding and the motorcycle that they gave you, despite the fact you may have gone out on the street and you've ridden it, blah, 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 the mistake would be multiplied. And your ability to correct that in the second and a half it took is mind-blowing.
See, the unfortunate situation in the Deadpool one was that they grabbed a girl who'd never done film work, and
Right.
she was excited and thought,
Yeah.
well, why would this I would imagine that she thought that why would this person call me if they don't have my best interest in mind or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't argue that she is foolish for taking the job. I think she was excited to have been asked.
Yeah.
But I do think when she got into the middle of it, that is where somebody has to step down or whatever. She did probably know that her life or something about her was at stake here, and she really had to tighten things up. She didn't want to be embarrassed, whatever that is.
Sure.
But I think I put the responsibilities on the higher ups, the people.
Yeah.
The pressure, you can be by yourself in the driveway, parking lot, riding your motorcycle in circles all you want.
Sure.
But under those lights,
It's a different
like
thing.
again, a wet down and the people and the pressure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, hands down. And unfortunately, she made a mistake. So when an accident like of this nature happens with someone who is not skilled but not experienced, there are usually 2 people at fault that I find: the person taking the job and the person offering the job. So you can, as a coordinator, go to production and say, absolutely not. Now, there was a racial question here as well. So you either use the person who can do the gag and using wardrobe and makeup and what have you,
Yeah.
disguise that.
Yeah.
And that's probably what should have happened. So you go to production and you say, I'm not doing this based on
Safety.
this. That's correct.
Yeah.
And they say, well, if you don't have this job. Well, then it's up to you as the coordinator to walk away.
Yes, I agree.
And someone else is going to take the job and someone else is going to do exactly what they want them to do. But but it's your integrity to not make this mistake.
Unfortunately, dollar bills, man, they control this friggin' world.
Yeah.
I know of another accident that happened, and
Yeah.
and a young man was killed.
That's sad.
But it and I know this person very well. Half the mistake was taking the job because it was beyond his scope, and he should never have put in this place. But by the same token, the stunt coordinator also knew it was beyond his scope, and the result ended badly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
In obviously, politics played a role in this Deadpool thing.
Right.
With the race versus merit versus other things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you're on some very big movies, doing some big stuff. Mm-hmm. What are you seeing? Are you seeing any irresponsibility? Are you seeing?
No, I think the thing you see is obviously we're casting these very diverse roles, which is wonderful, and then finding the talent to, because stunts doesn't just click. You can't just hire a stunt person. They have to have some experience and some background to do the job properly. So it becomes once you've hired the actor, finding a stunt person to match them can sometimes be very, very difficult. So what you end up seeing is a lot of worldwide hires. So you'll get a project that takes place in wherever, London, but the doubles will be from, like you said earlier, Australia and Germany and
or Mississauga.
Or Mississauga, exactly. And that's what it ends up being, is you end up having to scour the entire world to fill the talent.
But isn't that wonderful
and adequately?
That you have that pool of
Yes.
talent that you have global. You have a global
Yes.
pool of talent.
Yeah.
Where when you're dealing in a particular area, if the production can't afford it
Yeah.
or won't afford it,
Yeah.
then you have to stay within the talent pool you have.
That's a
Which becomes-
difficult situation. I don't envy being in that situation. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it comes back to your integrity and how you can solve the problem and still maintain safety on set. I will also say that when we're looking at the doubles that we're doing, most of the stuff we're doing is fighting and falling in wires. And somewhere in the world, those doubles exist. That being said, I saw a list on Stunt List. Stunt List is the Canadian one, right? Where they were looking for a dark-skinned 6'3" girl that could ride a horse and do a fall of some kind. Now that girl may very well exist, but man, that's a really niche spot to fill. And
Yeah.
I
100%.
don't know how you do that.
And what's interesting about that is you're not going to find an experienced, maybe they are, I don't know, experienced stunt performer
Yeah.
who's working on a daily, weekly basis,
Right.
who has that.
Yeah. It's just so.
So what you're going to
specific.
find is you're going to find a horsewoman
Yeah.
somewhere in the world
Yeah.
that fits that bill, who can't do that stunt, but will be coached through it.
Yeah.
And
Or,
you have to.
or if those are all your metrics, which one do you sacrifice to have the job done properly?
Right.
You know, do you find a girl that's 5'7"? Do you find a girl that has lighter skin? Do you find, because if you can't fill all of them, then how many can you fill safely?
See, to me, you've already.
Good question.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, we got a girl with lighter skin.
But see, that's the thing, is you have to go and say that.
But politics have
Right, but
become a
it's
thing.
tricky thing.
But that is the thing.
But then
So,
you have to speak to your director and discover how that shot's going to be done. Like, how are you shooting this? Is it how far away are you?
Right.
Can wardrobe play a part and make her
Right.
look taller?
Right, exactly.
You know, like it.
Yeah.
So many avenues that you can take to, just
That's the other thing. Stunt coordinators, especially, I think maybe nowadays, I'm generalizing here, but in a lot of ways, they think that they got to know everything, that they're not supposed to now ask any questions, that, here are the stunts, take it from there. And then they have to wander off and figure all these things out without discussing it with their director and DP and anyone that's going to be involved. Okay, well, how are you shooting this? What are you thinking? What's on your brain? These questions really help get the job done. Movie making's a collaborative art.
hence the new fad, previs videos, where the stunt team goes out and shoots a previs.
Yeah.
Which I've never really.
That's a
of.
newer thing, right?
Yeah, I've never
Very
been a
new,
big
yeah.
fan of it.
Yeah, interesting.
A lot of directors aren't coming in unnecessarily. I'm generalizing as well. That people aren't prepared, so they ask the stunt team to go out and shoot. I mean, I've shot some stuff that's been shot.
Yeah.
Frame for frame, for gosh sakes.
I think I'm subjective on the matter because I think a lot of the teams I work with are incredible filmmakers, and a lot of the time, especially on like a Sam Hargrave movie, Sam comes from the world of stunts.
Absolutely.
What we shoot in previs is generally what they're going to shoot on the day. And it's nice to have it all planned out and stuff as well. It makes the day shooting way faster. And if you trust your stunt team to get it done and make it look proper the first time, then you're less reliant on everything being...
It's a moving storyboard.
For sure. Yeah. But it is a new aspect of stunts that has been dropped on that department recently, whereas they used to be, from my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, mostly performers. Now in stunts you also have like designated people that are shooting, designated people that are editing, designated people that are doing effects on the previs and stuff,
sure,
before it's being shown to directors.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of these moving parts in a lot of these new movies, man. And guys flying and then down by the road, and car goes boom. Yeah. The moving parts and the amount that you can do.
Yeah. So a lot of that is, if they can see at least a proof of concept from the stunt viz before they designate, $50 million to whatever that fight scene's going to cost. Like, are these moments working? Are the ideas working? It's an important thing, and it's a lot cheaper to do it in a previs than it is to do it on the day or lose the day.
Yeah. Good point.
I mean, I get that. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like some previs go for 3 weeks. They beat the shit out of stunt guys. They don't give them the proper pay or whatever.
Ideally, your previs is in a controlled environment, so you shouldn't be breaking people in previs.
You shouldn't be. That is right.
For sure.
It's just what you hear. So, I mean, some of the shit. I mean, I've been involved
that's
with
not
a few,
the purpose of previs. Yeah.
I try to get around the previs if I can.
There are some people that really don't understand, and they do have you fall on your back.
Yeah, not necessary. I think if you're falling, like, you should be falling to mats and stuff.
Sure.
It's a previs. That's the point of the previs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wish more people think like that.
And like, if they have any imagination, they know that'll be to the deck on the day. They know that guy's going to concrete. We don't need to do it right now.
Right. I miss directors with imagination.
Yeah. But I like the process of it, especially if you have the adequate amount of time to build a previs, send it to production, get notes, come back, make modifications so that when you shoot it on the day, it is like a wrinkle-free process and super quick. That's great.
Yeah. We used to call it a rehearsal.
Yeah. Because I know when I did John Stead, for instance, his version of previs is we'd build the fight and then he'd get a wide reference and that's what he'd show producers.
Right. Yeah.
And then producers can shoot it however they want. But it's just different.
So what you'd do is you would rehearse.
Yeah.
Then you would shoot the rehearsal from a wide perspective.
Yeah.
And show them.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? And then the director with his imagination or her imagination
says, I'll put my camera
would take
there.
your video or your notes and figure out their coverage.
Yeah.
And you may, on the day we would shoot it.
Yeah, and you may add, hey, we should have a camera there.
Sure.
Or one here to sell that hit and blah, 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 blah.
Here's a crazy one that I might get in trouble for. Do you think there's occasions where the previs team and the people shooting previs may know more about shooting action than the director?
Always, almost every time. And we're not bringing Sam Hargrave into this picture.
Obviously not. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I have been on more sets than any director I've ever worked with. I have done more fights than any director has ever shot.
Right.
I have done more car work than any director has ever shot. And know more about it than any of them.
I have heard the
You're
theory
absolutely correct.
that a lot of these TV directors have not shot a lot of action.
Yeah.
And then the TV formula has evolved into very heavy movie type stuff, and they just don't know what they're doing.
So going back to old TV stuff, this frustrated me early on is if they come from a world of drama and they haven't shot action before, they like to go like master over, master wide, move on. And I don't think that's the way you shoot action. To me, first of all, masters are fine, but I don't think you should be reliant on masters unless the intention is to shoot it as a master and play it as a master, like a oneer. I think it's a master, especially from all the different angles, you're going to get 80% of everything instead of 100% of what you're trying to get. I think it's important to shoot for the edit and shoot intentionally, especially when it comes to action. And I think that counteracts acting, because I think the flow of acting in a scene, shooting a master, granted, I'm not experienced with shooting acting, having the actors flow and run the scene as a whole is maybe more beneficial, but I don't think that applies to action.
It's an interesting, that's a very interesting statement. You need your geography.
Mm-hmm. But I think you can map that out in a rehearsal before cameras are even rolling. Like, this is where it's going to be. We can walk through it all.
Oh, no, you need your geography to show your viewer.
Yes, for sure.
They need to know.
And that's when you can punch out and punch back in.
Correct.
And that's what you get your masters for in TV world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you with that acting portion. Like, on the other side, acting, I mean, you want to stay in your role and be a part of the scene and really get there deep. Mm-hmm. Doing little punches with acting is like, well, how am I supposed to stay in my character doing this?
Yeah, doing a master in drama, and then as you're rehearsing that, or however you want to do it, you get your master for your geography, blah, blah, blah. We need to know the relationship of everyone in the room.
Yeah.
And you design your coverage. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think of shooting masters with car stuff.
Might be different with car stuff. It's not my world.
Yeah, but it kind of it still feels like it would. That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to, if you're using intricate moves in your choreography, like, you really need to special those interesting moves.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Oh my God, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why it came into my head. What's that movie with the guy that forgets who he is? He's a spy.
Jason Bourne.
Mm-hmm. There's some intricate moves in some of the fights that they pop in on. Mm-hmm. I hate those fights, by the way.
Yeah. Do you hate the way they're filmed or the way they're choreographed?
I hate the fights overall.
Okay. Everything about them.
Yes.
Okay.
What it is that being a fighter, if you hit the average guy, I don't give a shit how good a shape he's in. Mm-hmm. Which one of these two fighters sucks?
Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
It goes on forever, and please, it's so boring, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I understand Superman, superheroes, get it. Mm-hmm. But
they're strong and mighty.
Two human beings?
Yeah, you're trying to make a believable human being. Yeah, they're taking 40 punches to the face, and they're still walking. You're like, what?
Yeah.
You know,
that is the other thing that frustrates me is inconsistent power, where it's like the same move over and over again, and then they hit him with that same move again, and that one drops him for some reason.
I love that.
Do you?
No, I love that you said it.
Yeah, what you're saying.
Power and consistency.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
I did a show with an actor, I won't say who it was.
Yeah.
Stunt coordinator comes up to this guy and says, "Oh, you can hit Randy. He's a kickboxer. You can take that." He actually said that to him. I said, "Oh, thanks, Rick." And so this actor, we had this fight. It was great. It's all blocked out. Everything's fine. Mm-hmm. So he's got to hit me in the stomach with these undercut. And as he's hitting me, he's knocking me back against this wall. And he must hit me 10 times. Then I'm supposed to swing at him. So I'm acting. I've made my choices.
Yeah.
And I throw this punch because I'm completely wasted because he punched the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And he's a former kickboxer as well. And he goes, "You've got to hit me. Throw the punch with everything you've got." And I said, "Really?" "Yeah." He said, "Get like this. It's fast." So I like this, and I popped him in the forehead with my fingertips. And he goes, I said, "See, I'm just as fast or faster than you are. You're not going to catch this punch with a block. So that's why I did what I did." And he goes, "No, come at me with everything you got." So we did it. Boom, 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 boom. We went outside after we got the fight. The whole fight's in the can. I'm out getting a cookie from the craft service, and he's smoking a cigarette. And I walked up to him and I said, if I was directing this, I would never have let that happen. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, how much do you suck? Mm-hmm. You beat the living shit out of me.
Yeah. It says something about your hero.
And I still had steam to come back at you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was pretty upset, I told him.
I mean, I was on a
Then he wanted it changed, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I was on a show a few years ago, and there's a bunch of monsters coming around the corner. and there's a hallway that's got to be a freaking mile long, something like that. And why me and all these people are running at the monsters that are much bigger and crazier and stronger than we are, and we have guns. and I just like,
that's the
thank you for the day.
The classic, everybody has a gun. How do we get in a fist fight?
Yeah,
that's like the
why?
The oldest stunt problem of all.
So silly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So just in some of these big movies you're doing, you're in places around the world, man.
Yes, sir.
What I really want to ask you is where you've been, how's the food, but politics.
Yeah.
Since we have talked about Deadpool and Canada and Australia and some other places where the politics are, it's hard to handle for some of us down here that don't deal with the geopolitical world and know what the hell's supposed to be going on here. What's going on in the movies that you're doing, and are you seeing this?
Interesting question. I'm not sure how much politics plays a part in movies aside from, casting decisions and specific things like that. I mean, we touched on the tariff thing, that Trump's trying to implement a tariff on films made outside of the U.S. And again, I don't know if that's necessarily the way to go about it. I think.
Is anyone recognizing that?
Not really.
Nobody cares right now.
It seems like right now, Europe is doing really well. Movies are being filmed like crazy in London and Budapest and Prague. And I think that's largely because it's cheaper to film them there. That being said, I don't know how politics necessarily plays a role in films right now. It's a good question.
Is that pendulum coming back?
I think yes. I think it is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love hearing it.
Yeah.
Being a dual citizen, Canadian American, does that play into your shooting in Europe, Prague, Budapest, or
every time
anybody go there?
Every time I'm working abroad, I'm working as an American citizen for my American corporation. I think it's easier for them to bring Americans than Canadians, for example. It's not impossible. I've certainly worked with a lot of Canadians abroad, like Mish. But it's more common that, obviously, as you know, that American teams are traveling to these different destinations.
Because it's an American production.
Yes, because it's an American production. But touching on politics in regards to what films are being made, I don't want to be too specific about which production studios, but I think there's been a realization that certain movies and pushing certain dynamics is not necessarily profitable. And I think the pendulum is swinging back in the sense that they want to make films now, hopefully, and it continues this way, that people want to see and that will do well in theaters. And they need to.
Yeah.
I think there was this temptation to make films for audiences that they didn't have before, instead of doubling down on their core audience. And I think it's important to keep pushing to your core audience as well. It was like, didn't Harley Davidson or Budweiser, they did Bud Light did a commercial.
Yeah.
And who do you think is drinking Bud Light?
Right, but that goes back to shooting sequels.
Yeah.
And reshooting movies that.
But
not making new.
Yes.
It's like, why would they do that if they weren't under some kind of pressure?
Yeah.
Okay. There's got to be some kind of
sure
pressure.
They were.
And then you got Kid Rock, who's like, screw Bud Light, I'll never drink another one. Blasts a case with a firearm, and then a month later he's like, you know what? I love Bud Light. And you're like, okay, that guy's also under pressure.
Well, they're a great example because just recently they did ads with a comedian whose name is escaping me, but he's like as all American as you can be, and it's just like a couple buds out drinking beer at a barbecue, and that's what your core audience is. Like, that's who you should be
100%.
pushing to. Yeah. So I don't think
it's weird how things have turned that way.
Yeah.
It's like they want new money.
Yeah.
Or something.
So speaking of
but
politics,
you alienate your core audience by doing that.
Absolutely.
100%. It's
So when you shoot in Budapest, or London, or wherever abroad, do you find that the stunt community of that area protests at all? That the Americans are here and they're not hiring us?
No. That being said, me being an American might influence what I hear. Yeah.
Interesting.
But there's a lot of talent abroad as well. And I think they're pretty used to the fact that American productions are coming and American teams are coming along with them. Because that's kind of the way big films have always been, from my understanding. Yeah.
I mean,
but
America
no,
is
I
the
haven't heard.
Mecca.
Yeah, I haven't really heard protesting in that sense.
So do you have any advice for any young stunt performer coming up that might want to
great
go
question.
shoot on?
Interestingly, I would say learn how to fight and fall as a priority.
Right, but let's say they already have the skills. They're already a working stunt performer, but they would
already a
love
working
to
stunt
investigate
performer.
shooting in Europe.
Okay. Like getting started here, I would say try to go to Europe and get in front of those coordinators as well, especially in places like Budapest, Prague, London, because they have a lot there. They have a lot that they can hire you for.
So just make the call, set up a meeting, fly.
If you
do what
can,
you gotta
especially
do.
if friends there, just go and hang out. Corey Dunson is an American performer that doubled Mr. T on Superman. He was recently out in London. He's an immensely talented guy. And yeah, I think he was just kind of going around meeting people and stuff. And I think that goes a long way.
Mr. T was on Super.
Yeah. I would also say, given the new direction of stunts, learn to shoot, learn to edit, and learn to do effects. I think the more you can do that, the more beneficial it's going to be. Especially in Toronto. We don't have a lot of guys that do that in Toronto. And if you can do that on a production, you're very valuable.
Absolutely. Now, I've always suggested you become a filmmaker. Learn how to direct, but learn how to edit.
Yeah.
You can create something because you know how to put it together.
Yeah.
The medium itself is changing.
Yes.
For sure. You know, stunts, I think that stunts may exist for some time still.
Yeah.
Just in a very minimal manner. I think stunt guys crashing, it's going to get lesser. Bigger stunts just get lesser.
I wonder if that'll be the case. I wonder if it'll be like the big gags and explosions and car flips and stuff that start to go. Those are your big investments.
Has anything
right?
changed from one Avengers to another?
Oh man, yeah, it's an interesting question because they're so far apart. I shouldn't touch on anything for Doomsday because it's obviously hugely NDA.
Fine.
But yeah, I mean things have changed for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how is Mr. T?
The actor, he's great. Have you seen the movie?
I've not.
He very much stands out in the film. He's very cool.
Wow.
Oh, no, sorry. Mr. T is the name of the character. You're thinking Mr. T, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. No, Mr. T is a character in the new Superman.
Oh, my apologies. I worked with Mr. T. I worked with Mr. T.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Like,
I wrote one of his...
I Pity the Fool.
I wrote an episode of his show, TNT.
Yeah.
Which John Burnett coordinated because I was busy. But
yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
I loved that show.
Mr. Terrific is a character.
Okay, copy that. Okay.
Yeah.
But he sounds terrific.
He's great. and he does stand out in the film. He's great in it.
That's cool, man. Well, what kind of, we're going to tie this up now, but I'd love to know where you've had the most fun shooting, what you've had the most fun shooting.
Good question.
And with whom you've had the most fun.
And what's coming up?
Great questions. Can't say what's coming up, but it'll be in London if all goes through. You know what? Working with Sam Hargrave and Dan Hargrave is probably the most fun I have on a production because there's so much to learn from them. And they're also so lovely to work with. And because there's so much respect for the department, you get to grow there. You get to learn a lot there.
That's great.
Which is lovely. It's also one of the places you get to do the coolest things. And then for me personally, I love superheroes. So anytime I can double Thor or Superman is like my childhood.
You know they're not real, right?
You keep telling me.
Sorry.
So character-wise, those are my favorite characters to double. And then team-wise, Sam's team is just the best.
That's
Love
awesome.
it. Yeah. Well, Justin, as we tie this up, would you do us the honor of signing our table anywhere
I would
you
love
want?
To. Yeah. Oh man, these people have such nice signatures. I feel like I just got chicken scratch for a signature. All right.
And if you feel so inclined, you can exercise your own creativity and draw a picture.
Oh man.
Maybe you have a superhero.
Of a superhero. Oh, we could. Ooh. Let's see if we can. If I go like this.
Oh wow, you're not an artist at all. No, I'm just teasing.
The hell is it?
This is the best part for all the listeners.
Yeah, this is
all they hear is
the scratch.
Sharpie scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Okay. This is getting a bit of a Thor-y look to him. Am I on the money?
I'm just kind of doing like the vibe is gonna just be like general, like floating superhero. What if we could do like?
It looks like one of those artist dolls that articulate.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Can they have awesome hair?
What if we did? What if we tried to do a?
Okay, fuck. No, I'm sorry. I told him to draw a picture.
Am I taking too long now?
Nah, man. That's great.
He does.
I love it.
He's a handsome bugger. Sweet.
Yeah, there we go.
A cape.
How's that? Reasonable?
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
You know, I dig that I thought you were going to put the cape all the way to both sides, but you just left the cape hanging to one side.
yeah.
That's experience right there, man.
There's a breeze blowing.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. This was a blast.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, thank you so much for
having me
coming
out.
out, man.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, thanks for being our first guest of 2026.
Dude,
man.
hell yeah.
Sweet.
was
Hey, best
badass.
of luck in the future, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully we all get to work together sometime. That'd be great.
In Budapest.
In Budapest. I love it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cheers, man.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Thank you. Got it, B.